life.
Good morning.
Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbors.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
Thank you, Jesus. So sing along with us. Wasafuti Niwo Yen Yesu Yeah, yeah. Woman Nabenji. You can stand to your feet. Oh, Kwan Yefo Yeho Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Woman,
This is Citi 97.3.
And so, come on, help me now. Come on, help me now. Yeah, who here? Yeah, who?
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Wave your hands with us. Ankayen Sasaya Babuchan. Come on, help us now. It's the mercy of God. 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 I have a son in the
6:27. Welcome to Wednesday, the 23rd of November.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Good morning, bonjour, buenos dias. This is the Citi Breakfast Show, live on your dial 97.3 FM. My name is Nathan Quao, sitting in for Bernard Avila. It's an honor bringing you the biggest breakfast in town. Many thanks for joining us. Grab a seat, let's have breakfast. Sending your thoughts and comments, messages, anything you want to share with us on 0549 986 996.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Music coming from Reverend Steve Latte, starting us off on a Wednesday morning. If you are listening to us outside the jurisdiction, then you are listening to us via citinewsroom.com. You get to us on our Twitter at Citi973, hashtag CitiCBS. Start off with our business sense for the morning, brought to us by ADB. ADB is bringing you the Payday Plus. You can access up to 10,000 cedis or 80% of your next net monthly salary. And remember, there's no interest on repayments within 30 days. And your money hits your account the same day. If you are interested in this, call Meredith on 0243 273 369 or now on 0244 284 197. T's and C's apply. ADB truly a Greek and more. And our business sense today comes from John C. Maxwell, one of the foremost authorities on leadership. He says we cannot lead anyone further than we have been ourselves. We cannot lead anyone further than we have been ourselves. So you can't take people somewhere you haven't been. You cannot lead your group and say, I'm leading you to big things, when you haven't experienced big things yourself, or you haven't seen what a big thing looks like. So you cannot take people further, you cannot lead anyone further than we have been ourselves. So when we say we want to lead, it's important that we know where we are taking them. We've been there before. Even if it's a principle you want to apply, you need to be applying it in your own life so that the people following can see you as the perfect example. So you cannot lead people anywhere or anyone anywhere that we have been ourselves. Great way to start the Wednesday morning. That's our business sense, brought to us by ADB. ADB truly a Greek and more. Coming up next is the newspaper review. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Why would you want to be caught up in this?
Madam, what is the meaning of this?
Oh, we are trying to resolve
Why
the
can't
issue.
I use my Visa card here? What is that?
Let me get back to you shortly.
Or this?
What sort of embarrassment is this?
Sir, I apologize for the inconvenience.
I'll finish up.
The newspaper review in a second, but remember that on December 24, 2022, we are changing the situation with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. It's the 2022 edition of Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with a mix of delicious cocktails, wonderful food, the most incredible DJs who keep you dancing all night long, and an overflow of excitement as there's a live band performance from Inchinchim, back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group Prayer and Aquaboa. the extremely talented crooner. It's happening Saturday, December 24 at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. That's in Labadi in Accra. Dress code is an all-white affair. We start at 8 p.m. If you want to book a table, call 0205 973 973 or 0558 973 973. The Situation Outdoor Party is partnered by Ghana Weekend and City FM, empowered by City TV. The newspaper review comes up next, brought to us by Fidelity Bank. They have the Sikaboom promo for you. All you have to do is deposit and maintain 300 cedis and multiples of it in your Fidelity account every month during the promo period to qualify, and you could win 100,000 cedis as the grand prize. Promo runs from August 25 this year to February 2023 and is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. T's and C's apply. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. Total Energy is also bringing us the newspaper review. 3-time winners of the CIMG Award for Petroleum Company of the Year. They are now in the CIMG Hall of Fame for Petroleum. That means they are a big company and they want to give you the very best. They'll give you great products and services that meet your needs and expectations. So please keep being friends with Total Energies. And the segment's also brought to us by Kel Chaco Toothpaste. Kel Chaco Toothpaste, happy smile. Let me welcome Richard Delasky to the newspaper review.
Hey, my brother, how are you doing?
I'm okay, how are you?
Actually, I'm there for you, Kocho. Yeah, I'm there, Kocho. Energy. You know Winners Day? Winners Day. The winner has been winning. Just did it, Kocho. Yeah.
Brother is also here. Caleb, how are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm very well, thank you.
Great. Let's get into the papers.
Yes,
very interesting stories.
Very interesting stories. You know that the budget is likely to be read tomorrow.
Yes.
There are so many controversies around it. The MPP has been working overtime to try and stabilize the situation in Parliament with respect to the majority MPPs who are threatening to rebel. And, you've been updating us in the news this morning. But if you look at the front page of the Daily Graphic this morning, the big story says, ahead of 2023 economic policy tomorrow, budget to restore stability and VAT, which is VAT, likely to go up. It comes with a photograph of the man and the fire, the Honorable Ken Ofori Atta. Also on the front page this morning, tackle development gaps in vulnerable communities. This coming in from the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, at the Accra Initiative Confab. Also on the front page this morning, teamwork key to Black Stars victory. That's coming in from Odoi.
On the Ghanaian Times, State of Saglemi Housing Project Minority warns private developers, MNOs block SIM cards in compliance with Communication Ministry Directive and growing terror threat in the West African states. Let's adopt an agenda to stop it. President Akufo-Addo tasks ECOWAS security chiefs. And on page 3, 14 arrested over murder of chief, 2 others at Barrier Ahimfie.
Okay, let me take you to the Herald for this morning. The big story says NDC elements dirtying themselves over 20% kickback. Reports of greed and Gulf Party's national executives. And it's all in the DJ. They see when they did the enjoy you, Charlie, growing yet then. Charlie, somewhere. Also, government heavily indebted to road contractors. One of the topics we tweeted yesterday on the Citi Breakfast Show. And also, Ghana Police gives yet another false hope on dealing with rogue officers after viral video. That video I saw yesterday, Charlie, really, really traumatic. And the police chief would have to do something about it.
Chronicles says judgment in petition against Jomoro MP. Drama in secondary courtroom. Marita Brew appear upon Frank Davis in hot exchanges, and his insurgency in Sahel could engulf West Africa. Akufo-Addo warns. Aisha Horn discharged, rearrested. NDC MP scare investors from Saglemi project. Gumwa West MP whines over high fuel prices. And Proverbs 23. It is an honor for a man to keep aloof from strife, but every fool will be quarreling.
I see.
That was serious matter. The Daily Guide says this morning, 2023 budget statement. Let's show leadership. This one is coming in from Akomprenko Ajepong, who is the member of parliament for the Sin Central constituency, and he is worried about what the MPP MPs are demanding ahead of the budget presentation. Also, Foreign Ministry unaware of EC's planned registration. The story you picked up much earlier. Aisha Juan's son, one other, dragged to court, and Council of State not fit for purpose, according to John Kufo.
The new crusading guide allow Ken Oforiatta to read budget. MP rallies colleagues to support president's plan. Conflict of interest splatter. NDC's FEC defend Asiedun Ketia. Urge party members to ignore rumor mongers. Ni Owu family doesn't own Atimota forest lands. Head of Ni Odocho Odoi Quao family claims and petitions the president. Now, countering terrorism, 7 countries hold strategic confab to find solutions under Accra initiative.
And the Ghanaian publisher says this morning, DVLA introduces new number plate. Okay. And MPP inaugurates National Council committees. Akufo-Addo drops solution to terrorism. Don't buy Saglemi houses, according to the minority, because they are warning investors in that regard with some reasons. And Kennedy Ejepong begs for Oforiatta.
Right. The Finder newspaper, excerpts of 2023 budget reviewed, heavy on property rates, VAT increase, social protection, failure to pass it would derail much needed IMF bailout, and collaboration of majority minority on 2023 budget crucial. This is Opon Kuma speaking. Ken Ejapong appeals to NPP MPs not to boycott 2023 budget, and Nana Akufo-Addo calls for Africa-led counter-terrorism initiative. These are stories making the headlines on the Finder.
If you go online, citynewsroom.com says, don't boycott 2023 budget presentation. Ken Ejapong to MPP MPs. Organized labor government failed to agree on 60% increment in base pay. Telcos ready to begin deactivating unregistered SIMs. That's according to the Chamber of Telecom. Okay, and Akufo-Addo government deliberately abandoned Saglemi housing to sell it later. That's according to the minority. And the Ashanti region, soldier allegedly kills nursing mother at Manson Datano. Okay, if you go to citybusinessnews.com, they say Bank of Ghana wins Corporate Governance Institution of the Year award. Okay, they also have the Chamber of the telco story on SIM card deregistration or SIM card deactivation. Malagasy delegation complete tour of Ghanaian fintechs and MFIs.
Okay.
And Twitter staff in Ghana are rejecting Elon Musk's layoff package. I read somewhere that they had gone to court, or they had sought the legal route to see what they could get from that.
Okay.
Accra initiative won't require UK troops in Ghana. Foreign Affairs Minister debunks reports. That's a story coming from starfm.com.gh. And let's work together to arrive at feasible budget program upon Nkrumah to majority minority. And the minority says government running down Saglemi housing project to sell cheaply to cronies. If you go to myjoyonline.com, they've got the police story, Sky, that you made reference to. 2 police officers caught on camera assaulting man over weed. Interesting. And meeting between labor unions and government adjourned to November 23. And minority blocks approval of $500 million loan. And if you go international on the BBC, they say gunman kills up to 10 in Virginia Walmart store. That broke early this morning. An angry protest at giant iPhone factory in Ghana. And Supreme Court clears Congress to see Donald Trump's taxes.
Thank you.
So it looks like Trump, every day there's something about Trump.
No, the Apple won't finish the man, but Charlie, they lie. Charlie, I think you should take off from the story having to do with the police, because when I saw that video yesterday, Charlie, it was so traumatic. I mean, no police officer worthy of his name, rank, competence, and the uniform that he wears should conduct himself like that.
Well, so that story is on myjoyonline.com, and it says 2 MTTD police officers have been captured in a video physically assaulting a man at Asankregwa in the Western North region. According to reports, the man was assaulted over a bag the officers suspected contained marijuana. The incident happened on Saturday, November 19 at around 11 a.m. Now, sources say the man was in the company of another, okay, and they were stopped by the police for an inspection. Let's continue the story. I wanted to give you the citynewsroom.com version.
Okay.
Good. So the story is there. The update is that the police have begun looking into this. So that is on citynewsroom.com.
Okay.
Now the suspect, who was heard pleading for his life, denied ownership of the said substance. The substance being marijuana.
Yeah.
Now he was seen in the video being dragged on the ground and being stepped on in the chest area by the officers. Now the police statement says, quote, the police have commenced investigations into a viral video in which two police officers are seen struggling with a member of the public and assaulting him in the process, end quote. The service added that the victim had been contacted to assist in investigations. Now the matter is being handled again by this from the police statement. The matter is being handled by the Police Professional Standards Bureau, and the officers involved, their names are here: Inspector Prince Ewa and General Corporal John Ahiamata, both with the divisional MTTD at Asankregwa, have been referred to the bureau to be taken through the due process of the law.
The first thing is they should be arrested first and put behind bars. Let's deal with the matter of their professional conduct later. Because, what they did yesterday, or according to the video, what we saw, I mean, it's not a matter to drag on the basis of, let's deal with the professional. No, there are criminal elements to what they did.
Okay.
What they did was well beyond what is constitutionally acceptable.
Needs to be decoupled. So one half is criminal.
Yes.
They were misbehaving,
Yes.
kicking somebody, all of that.
Oh, left, right, and center. That cannot be encouraged within the police service. It can't be right. So the IGP must ensure that these guys are prosecuted, and whatever the law requires them to serve as penalty is dished out.
Then they deal with the professional part.
That one they can always deal with it, alongside. Anyway, what other stories do we have?
MNOs to block SIM cards in compliance with Communication Ministry Directive. Story by Claude Nyako Adams. Mobile network operators, MNOs in the country, have commenced the blocking of partially registered SIM cards from accessing data services the National Communications Authority has reviewed. According to Mr. Kwame John, Deputy Director, Consumer and Corporate Affairs Division of the NCA, the MNOs were undertaking the exercise in batches. The move followed a directive by the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization to all MNOs to block SIM cards, also known as Subscriber Identity Module SIM, which was yet to be fully registered by November 20 from accessing data services. Speaking in an interview with the Ghanaian Times yesterday, he said although he did not have the data on the number of SIM cards blocked since the expiration of the deadline readily available, the NCA was aware that the directive was being complied with.
Okay.
He stated that due to the technical nature of the exercise, the MNOs would not be able to simultaneously block all the defaulting SIM cards. So this is MNOs to the Stubborn Academy and others.
Okay. Let me take you to the Daily Graphic this morning. The big story we're also dealing with this morning is the budget. Tomorrow it will be read, and Samuel Doe Ablodepe writes on the front page of the Daily Graphic this morning that the Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, is expected to present the 2023 budget statement and economic policy of the government to Parliament tomorrow. Now, the Majority Chief Whip, Frank Anodompre, announced this in Parliament last Friday and urged members of the House to be present. Now, the budget from our sources is expected to inspire hope, restore macroeconomic stability, bolster resilience, achieve inclusive growth, and ensure value addition to the country's raw materials in order to rake in more revenue and foreign exchange to contain the current economic challenges. Now, our sources have also hinted of an upward adjustment in the value added tax, VAT, raising it again after Kumi Preko and everything we know about, currently at 12.5% to between 14 and 15%. Now, the presentation will be done in accordance with Article 1791 of the Constitution of the Republic. Now, if you would note, there are a number of newspapers running stories today about an appeal that is going on. Yes, you have that story.
Finder has that on page 11 as well. Yeah, so let me give you that detail shortly. The Finder newspaper on Kennedy Ejapon appealing to his colleague MPs. New Patriotic Party NPP Member of Parliament for Asin Central in the Central Region, Kennedy Ejapon, has appealed to all Majority Caucus MPs MPs to attend and participate fully in the 2023 budget presentation, related discussions, debate, and approval. He described as unfortunate and regrettable the stance taken by some aggrieved NPP MPs to neither attend a sit-in nor have anything to do with the subsequent parliamentary discussions and debate on the 2023 budget, should Minister for Finance Ken Oforiatta be the minister presenting it to the House. Ejapong, who is aspiring to lead the NPP as presidential candidate in 2024, made the appeal in a statement issued yesterday. So that's Kennedy Ejapong appealing to his fellow NPP MPs not to abandon Ken Oforiatta.
Okay. Now, there's a story that I saw in the Daily Graphic. Let's link it to the budget. On page 17, Professor Dai Mensah is calling for review of the free senior high school policy. Now, Vincent Amanu Veve is writing this morning in the Daily Graphic that a former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Emeritus Ivan Adai Mensah, has called on the government to re-examine the implementation of the free senior high school policy to ensure its sustainability. Now, he suggested that the government should resort to cost sharing, where parents who could afford it will pay for their children's education. You know, it goes back to the arguments that we had long before the implementation of the project. Now, he said that such a measure would ensure that poor and needy students benefited from the generosity of the well-endowed. Now, at the moment, the government is the sole financier of the policy, a situation the former Vice Chancellor said had led to some challenges to the administration of the schools, especially feeding and boarding facilities. That's a very important call.
This matter.
Yeah, very
come up, but Charlie. Aisha Huan's accomplices face fresh charges. Story on page 5 of the Finder newspaper. It says the state has preferred fresh charges against 3 accomplices of N. Huan, aka Aisha Huan, alleged illegal miners standing trial for engaging in illegal mining in the country. The accused persons are Shi Yang, aka Philip, Li Wei Gua, and Shi Mia Z. Now they are said to have.
Why don't they have aliases too?
Oh, Shi Mia Z. I'm easy.
They are said to have possessed forged residence permits. Now, Li Wigua and Shimia Z, who are partners, are facing a charge of undertaking mining operations without license. They are said to have undertaking mining operations without license granted by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources at Rienso near Nkoko, Rienso, in the eastern region in the year 2017. So that's an update coming in.
If you go to citynewsroom.com, organized labor, remember they have been going back and forth with government for a 60% increase. Now, organized labor is expected to meet the government today to continue negotiations on the proposal of a 60% increase in the base pay of the single spine salary structure for next year. Organized labor says the proposed 60% is intended to help workers deal with the rising cost of living as a result of high inflation. Now, yesterday's meeting ended inconclusively, even though the budget, and like you said, has been slated for it to be presented on November 24. So that's the update there from a labor front. A few more stories.
Talking about increment, let me take you to the Daily Guide newspaper, page 9. There's a story there that says Telco's chamber hence of tariffs increment. Charlie, this will kill us. It comes with a very nice photograph of my good friend, or our good friend, engineer Dr. Kenneth. Actually, Charlie work pabu for if I get a good kuchu. Mimia ugala. No. This one here, Madakuku, don't change. Now, the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications has given an indication of a possible tariff increment by its members. According to the chamber, its industry members may have to increase their tariff due to the present high cost of doing business in the country. Oh, Charlie, no, Charlie, we beg you. Oh, no, Charlie.
NDC MPs scare investors from Saglemi projects. That's how the Chronicle couch sits on page number 2. Agnes Ansa wrote this from Saglemi, and it says the minority members on the Works and Housing Committee of Parliament have warned investors who are considering buying Saglemi housing to tread cautiously. According to the caucus, it was very optimistic that the National Democratic Congress NDC would be in power in 2025 and would reverse the decision taken by the new Patriotic Party NPP government in selling the project to a private developer. Quote, so the minority in Parliament, we are stating our position clear that we would not want any private developer to come in at all. We are very optimistic the NDC will come from the next government in 2025. So any property developer that will partner the government to complete this project, the project will be taken away from you. Okay.
That's a very serious matter. We have to look into that. There's a story dealing with terrorism on the pages. If you go to the Ghanaian publisher on page 3, Akufo-Addo drops solution to terrorism. Now, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has stated that terrorism and violent extremism in the Sahel, West Africa, and Africa will be defeated if the world works towards preventing terrorist attacks rather than reacting to the menace. Speaking at the inaugural summit of the Accra Initiative Counter-Terrorism Conference in Accra yesterday, President Akufo-Addo stated that the initiative's preventive rather than reactive approach should thus be viewed as a critical piece of the answer to the overall fight against terrorism and violent extremism. It's also important to note that yesterday there was a story circulating, came in from the UK, the Telegraph news media. Exactly. That the UK was sending special forces to Ghana after withdrawing them from the Sahel region to fight terrorism. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has issued a statement saying that publication is misleading.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Caleb. That was a newspaper review. Coming up next is the City Business News.
Up next, we asked some Ghanaians what they would do if they were blessed with 100,000 Ghana cedis.
Hey! 100,000 Ghana cedis by this time. Masa, I will buy a new car with sunroof. Make me share him.
Me, 100,000 Ghana cedis. And on your free hakona vungu. Maybe a shop's there 5. Baku wa Kumasi, Baku wa Sekendi, Baku wa Wali. It's just say, me nationwide ankasa. Where they see Kapumo share.
You can also win 100,000 Ghana cedis in the Fidelity Bank Sika Boom promo. All you have to do is deposit and maintain 300 Ghana cedis and multiples of it in your Fidelity account every month during the promo period to qualify. There's loads of cash to be won in the monthly draws with a whooping 100,000 Ghana cedis in the grand draw. Make that 300 Ghana cedi deposit today. This promo runs from August 2022 to February 2023 and is in partnership with the NLA on the Currencies Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
We're sorry to interrupt this program for a breaking news story. Information.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome to the City Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loco.
I am Umaru Sanda Amadou.
My name is Freme Dunyame.
My name is Bobi Osei.
This stream goes all the way to Papaye on the Spintex Road. When the rain's setting, because of the houses that have blocked its access routes, it takes over the place, overflows, and that's where you see the flooding.
Well, if you want any evidence to show whether or not Shatta Wale is a popular artist, this right here reflects that.
And you know how the ghetto is. You always understand Shatta Wale. Yeah, that's why we always love him, because he's our motivator.
But you know, I can never panic like Titanic. All Nima panic.
Hello and welcome to the City Newsroom. This is your bedroom.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us exactly what was destroyed? What happened here?
Okay, they have just destroyed my.
Is collaborating with Graphic Communications to bring you the SME Fair 2022. It's happening on Thursday 8th and Friday 9th December 2022 from 10 a.m. each day, and it's happening at the AMA Gardens. And they're bringing together businesses from across art and beauty, electronics, furniture, food and agriculture, engineering, retail store, and much more. So you can buy at amazingly discounted prices. Take advantage and get the best discounts and amazing deals this festive season. You can call 0800 00 4400 for more info. Access Bank, more than banking. Goil is also bringing us the Citi Business News, and these days they are making things easy. You can use mobile money to pay for your fuel purchases. You can even use your bank card or your Goil Go card. Visit their Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for more info. Goil, good energy, Goil, yeah, DM. MTN is also bringing us the Citi Business News, and they are telling you to look forward to weekends because with as low as 52 pesos, enjoy endless conversations with non-stop talking and texting on all networks. Just dial star 550 # only on MTN this Sunday and make it extra special. Remember, T's and C's apply. And the Citi Business News is also brought to us by Enterprise Life. Enterprise is your advantage. Netele Nete is here. She's got all the latest from the world of business.
Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, Enterprise Life, your advantage, Access Bank, more than banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. My name is Netele Nete Ajahu. Coming up, stakeholders push for robust interventions within the agri sector to build back the economy ahead of the budget presentation, and players within the housing sector call for more private-public partnerships to check the housing deficit. Let's settle for the details now. The Peasants Farmers Association of Ghana has said that an agricultural-led budget is what will save the economy from the current economic crisis. According to the farmers, the budget presentation, which will be given on Thursday, should make provision for adequate farm machinery to facilitate the production of rice and maize in the country. Their call comes at a time when government has said it will no longer facilitate the import of rice into the country with forex support. In an interview with Citi Business News, Head of Programs and Advocacy at the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Charles Naba, said the country will greatly benefit if adequate provision for the agricultural sector is made in the budget.
A lot of farmers have grown their rice. They are not able to harvest because they couldn't afford combined harvesters. So we expect to see in the budget provisions made for increased supply of mechanization service. If I talk of mechanization services, I'm looking from tractors, from threshers, from combine, and then from rice mill to ensure that we increase our rice production. Now, most of the poultry farmers have closed their poultry farms because they could not afford maize. The reason why maize supply has gone down and prices are so high is because of high cost of fertilizer and other inputs for production. So we expect to see budget allocation that will support people who are into maize production to be able to produce with a low cost, increase their farm sizes. So the next year, when it comes this time, price of maize will be that moderate for poultry farmers to be able to purchase. Now, we also want to see a situation where the budget indicates clearly measures or policy proposals that will allow people who want to invest in agriculture to go to banks and get loans with low interest rates.
That was the Head of Programs and Advocacy at the Peasants Farmers Association of Ghana, Charles Naba. Still on the budget, economist Dr. Patrick Isuming is also urging government to invest more into domestic production to reduce the rate at which foreign products are imported at high costs. This, according to him, will check inflation in the country.
Current bout of inflation earlier on, this bout actually started right about, September last year. But it did start maybe June last year, but it was a little bit gradual. And you realize that when it started, it was primarily driven by food inflation. Food inflation has continued to rise. And in the last few months, the rapid depreciation of the currency has added to it. So you see that the inflation on imported items have now outstripped the domestic one. So in terms of, there are two things. We need to address the currency depreciation. But we also need to address the bottlenecks with food production. So even though there are difficult times in terms of government spending, we still need to continue the investment in agriculture. The planting for food and jobs hasn't worked as well as we were told that it was working. And this year, we know that we've suffered with fertilizer production. So I hope that we do see some activity around the fertilizer side.
Economist Dr. Patrick Isumin speaking there. The Ghana National Chamber of Construction Industry says it expects the government to make adequate provisions to pay local contractors for executed contracts in the 2023 budget. The chamber believes efforts must be made to ensure they receive monies due them for contracts completed, in some cases as far back as 2017. CEO of the chamber, Emmanuel Cherry, added that the payment of their monies can also help revive the various sectors of the construction industry, hence they must be given priority. We'll bring you that insert in the next bulletin. Moving on, stakeholders within the housing sector are calling for the introduction of interventions to ensure that the country's growing housing deficit is checked. Though Ghana's housing deficit is currently at 1.8 million units, they say more needs to be done. Speaking on the sidelines of the commissioning of the Dinkra Heights complex in Accra, Managing Director of Switchback Developers Limited, Rudy Loco, says more public-private partnerships to build large-scale affordable housing projects on relatively cheap land to ensure the ordinary Ghanaian is catered for is needed.
There's a bit of a glut, okay? But I believe that real estate is about address. It's about the location. But yes, there's a bit of a glut, and our economic situation currently is a bit tight. So not to say people don't have money, but I think people are just being cautious. In real estate, one of the biggest challenges has to do with acquisition of land. And so if not for anything at all, if government can assist private sector players in getting access to land to build, I think it will help. It will go a long way to even help on the pricing of properties. There are real estate companies that sometimes have to pay for land 2-3 times before they actually start construction. And there's no free lunch. They are not Father Christmases. They would definitely pass on those costs to the final consumer or the buyer. And so that feeds into certain properties being expensive. So if government can assist real estate with land acquisition, in partnering with them on that end, I think it will go a long way to help.
That was the Managing Director of Switchback Developers Limited, Rudy Loco. The Chief Executive Officer of the Petroleum Commission, Egbert Philbert Jr., says, in spite of challenges confronting Ghana's upstream petroleum sector, Ghana has been recording some positives with respect to contracts awarded to indigenous Ghanaian companies. Speaking at the opening of this year's Petroleum Commission Local Content Conference in Takoradi, Egbert Philbert Jr. said, although the upstream petroleum sector challenges continue to stifle the growth of the indigenous participation of companies in the sector and overall Ghana's local content targets, Ghanaian oil companies were awarded over $5.2 million service contracts at the end of the third quarter of 2021.
Gentlemen, after 9 years from the passage of NI 2204 and its implementation, the upstream petroleum sector has witnessed remarkable achievements. In 2020, for instance, out of a total of $1.3 billion United States of service contracts awarded, $238 million thereof in value terms went to indigenous Ghanaian companies, whilst $1.1 billion United States value went to joint ventures, which included indigenous Ghanaian companies. Additionally, at the end of the third quarter of 2021, 2021, individual Ghanaian companies and joint ventures benefited from value of service contracts worth $5.2 million United States dollars and $45 million United States dollars respectively out of a total sum of $54 million United States dollars. The Commission continues to develop relevant guidelines to develop and push.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the Petroleum Commission, Egbert Fabiel Jr. Now on the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 13 cedis 11 pesos. The British pound gained 8 pesos and is selling at 15 cedis 49 pesos. The euro also gained 3 pesos and is selling at 13 cedis 44 pesos. However, at some forex bureaus, the dollar is selling at 14 cedis 90 pesos. The British pound is selling at 17 cedis 50 pesos. And the euro is selling at 15 cedis 5 pesos. Let's now join Gillian Hammer of DataBank for more on the topic. What's the difference between the amortized value and the market value?
If you invest in mutual funds, you may have received a notice from your fund company or heard the regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission, explaining the requirement for fund companies to apply what is called mark-to-market valuation. In response, you may also notice that your fund company is now showing you two balances for the funds you hold, where one is called the amortized value and the other is called either the mark-to-market or market value. The amortized value shows the current value of your investments in the fund if all the investments in that fund were held until they mature, so the fund manager could get the full value of the investments done on your behalf. The market value or mark-to-market value, on the other hand, reflects the current value of your investments if the fund manager has to prematurely sell bonds in this current environment without waiting for them to mature. For this reason, fund companies have been directed to process all withdrawals at mark-to-market prices to help protect the value of the funds for those who stay invested. So if you don't have an urgent need for your money, you may want to consider waiting for the bond prices to recover to minimize any losses you could make in the near term.
That was Gillian Hammer of DataBank. And that does it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Enterprise Life, your advantage. Access Bank, more than banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citybusinessnews.com. My name is Netelinete Ajaho. Have a good business day.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, at some point, well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss. Yes. So we saw it. But they have held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him. That this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan, there's a proverb. It's a kwasia na no so nsu so chati.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was a. But those days, it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was apoteshi, So I just took it. When I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me, I was like, Charlie, I'll never touch it. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you never smoked?
Smoked, no way. No.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Then who comes out of the car? Chachu Chikata and Kojo Chikata. And the Chachu told me that they have, Kojo was sick since the morning and he has been tortured and whatnot, and they have come for medical attention. Of course, naturally, I have to look after them.
The city's biggest conversation.
7:13. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Kickoff is next. A wrap of the latest from the world of sports, brought to us by Lecheho. Lecheho is asking if you've updated your records, because the Bank of Ghana says only the Ghana card will be accepted when you want to undertake a financial transaction these days. So kindly visit any Lecheho branch near you, update your records with your Ghana card so you are served faster and better. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0574065958 or call 0302208333. Lecheho, let's improve lives. Daniel Cranting is here. He's got all the latest news from the world of sports. It's time for kickoff.
Hello, good morning. It's time for kickoff here on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Daniel Cranting. In the headlines, Saudi Arabia pull off one of the shock results in FIFA World Cup history after beating Argentina in their opening group game. Olivier Giroud becomes France's joint all-time top leading scorer. We'll give you the latest in the Black Stars camp ahead of their opening game against Portugal tomorrow. And Portugal forward Cristiano Ronaldo is set to leave Manchester United with immediate effect. Let's start off with some World Cup news. And Saudi Arabia pulled off one of the biggest upsets in the history of the World Cup after they beat Argentina 2-1 in the opening Group C encounter played yesterday. The Argentines took the lead in the first half through a Lionel Messi penalty, but the Saudis fought back to score twice in the second half and win the match against all odds. Let's now hear from Saudi Arabia coach Hervé Renard.
You are coming to the World Cup. You need to believe on yourself. Everything can happen in football. Sometimes your opponent is not at his best motivation. This is normal. It's also happened to us sometimes when we are playing a lower team. This is sometimes what the people, they don't understand. Do you imagine Lionel Messi to play against Saudi Arabia? Of course, he will tell him, yes, we need to start very well, but the motivation is not like if you are playing Brazil. Huh? This is normal. This is part of football. So we made history for the football. It will stay forever. This is the most important. But we also need to think about looking forward. We still have 2 games very difficult for us.
We had Saudi Arabia head coach Hervé Renard speaking there. Elsewhere, Mexico goalkeeper Guillermo Ochoa continued his love affair with the FIFA World Cup after saving a Robert Lewandowski penalty to make sure that his side ran away with a point. Mexico and Poland drew goalless. In Group D, Denmark and Tunisia also drew goalless. France, they came from behind to beat Australia by 4-1. Olivier Giroud scored a brace on the day, sending him joint top of France's all-time leading top scorer chart, tied on 51 goals with Thierry Henry. In today's games, Morocco will take on Croatia at 10 a.m. There'll be a big one between Germany and Japan at 1 p.m. Spain will take on Costa Rica at 4 p.m. and Belgium will take on Canada at 7 p.m. Let's head off the game between Belgium and Canada. Let's hear from Belgium head coach Roberto Martinez.
First of all, is a huge respect for what Canada has achieved, because first of all, when you finish top of the group and ahead of national teams like USA and Mexico, that means that there is a real substance. It's not a coincidence that you arrive into the World Cup. We know how difficult it is to get to the World Cup. In Canadian terms, it's the second time. First time was in '86. So straight away, you know that this generation has something very, very special. They look like a team. They never look at a group of players coming together to represent the national team. They look like a team, very clear in their concepts, very, very dynamic, competitive, a team that they know their strength. There will be surprises in the tournament just because of that period of preparation is so short that adds a different element. We've seen it today with Argentina against Saudi Arabia, and I think there is no one player that needs a reminder of what level you need to hit to be able to compete and win a football.
That was Belgium head coach Roberto Martinez speaking there. Let's now zoom into the Black Stars, and the Vice President of the Ghana Football Association, Mark Addo, is confident that the team will be fully prepared for their first game at the 2022 World Cup against Portugal. Ghana will face Portugal tomorrow in a Group H encounter at the Stadium 974 in Doha at 4 p.m. Mark Addo believes the technical team has put in all necessary measures to ensure Ghana performs at a high level in the competition.
I think our boys are fully committed and they are really focused, and I think they will show up. They will show up and defend the flag of Ghana that day. I mean, in any circumstance, no matter what happens, they will show up and play their hearts out. I'm very confident they make us. We continue to work on a daily basis. The technical team continues working every day, throughout the night, making sure that their preparation is at the highest level. And I can assure you that the team will be ready come when the tournament will start our games.
You heard Vice President of the Ghana Football Association, Mark Addo, speaking there. Let's now hear from Black Stars defender Dennis Odoi speaking ahead of the game against Portugal.
Yeah, I think the guys, everybody comes along really well. Everybody's talking to one another, and obviously, like we've used this last week to fit everybody in and to get used to the system and to, practice the defensive and offensive battles, and everybody gets to know each other a little bit better on the pitch. And obviously, experience is always important, but we maybe have other guys like myself who've played Champions League, and we have the experience from that stage. But yeah, we'll see.
We had Dennis Odoi, he's Black Stars defender. Meanwhile, technical director for the Ghana Football Association, Bernard Lepet, is convinced experience will not play a key part in the success of teams at the 2022 World Cup. Ghana is the youngest team at this year's competition with an average age of just 24.
Of course, Portugal is a very strong opponent, and we know this is one of the big players in Europe and in the world. But with each and every day, team looks from day to day more sharp, very focused, very concentrated, and with these new individual players, we raise the level of this team that I am pretty sure that we can compete with all teams here in this tournament. For me, it's important which team spirit you bring together. And I have the feeling we have an amazing team here with a very flat hierarchy, but still you have leaders in the team. Of course, it's important that one or two play the World Cup before, but I think if you stand as a team together, you can grow from match to match. And I have a very positive feeling that we are able to do this.
You hear the technical director of the Ghana Football Association, Bernard Lepet, speaking there. Moving on, Portugal forward Cristiano Ronaldo is to leave Manchester United with immediate effect via mutual agreement. The decision follows a controversial interview in which the 37-year-old criticized the club and said he had no respect for manager Erik ten Hag. Ronaldo is with Portugal at the World Cup in Qatar and is set to captain them in their opening Group H game against Ghana tomorrow. He had just over 7 months remaining on his contract with United, and his departure leaves him free to sign for any other club when the transfer window opens in January. Moving on, Spain captain Sergio Busquets said he will not make any decisions on whether this will be his final World Cup. The Barcelona midfielder is competing in his 4th tournament after winning the trophy with Spain back in 2010. The 34-year-old has also won the 2012 European Championships and is dreaming of winning another title in Qatar. Spain opened their World Cup campaign against Group E opponents Costa Rica on Wednesday. That brings an end to Kickoff here on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Daniel Cranting. For more sports news, visit citisportsonline.com. Kickoff was brought to you by Lesheho.
Trust the process. The biggest things often start small. No matter where you are now, the most important decision you will make today is knowing where you'll be tomorrow. All you have
this week. Our appeal to the banks that it is not enough to show fat profits at the end of the year, publish them in the newspapers, and feel good.
Are you looking for a way to consume business news without getting lost in all of the technical language? Well, for our traders down here, all they care about is the fact that this could likely affect the cost of doing business.
We used to pay an average of 3,000 somewhere in November.
Now it has shoot as much as $12,000 for a 40-footer container.
Business Weekly brings you all the top business stories of the week in an exciting manner.
Business Weekly, Sundays at 3 p.m. only on Citi TV.
Well, so, are you ready? Let's go. Hi, have you missed any business news this week?
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Hello, welcome to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loco.
I am Umaru Sanda Amadou.
My name is Freme Dunyame.
My name is Bobi Osei.
This stream goes all the way to Papaye on the because of the houses that have blocked its access routes. It takes over the place, overflows, and that's where you see the flooding.
Well, if you want any evidence to show whether or not Shatta Wale is a popular artist, this right here reflects that.
And you know how the ghetto is. You always understand Shatta Wale. Yeah, that's why we always love him, because he's our motivator.
But you know, I can never panic like Titanic. All Nima panic.
Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom. This is your bedroom. Yes. Now, can you tell us exactly what was destroyed, what happened?
Okay, they have just destroyed my iron, fridge, fan, and this is what they destroyed in my room.
Within the hearts of our youth, if you don't release that anger, you can only have a revolution on your hands.
There seemed to be some heavy military presence, and on our way, we actually saw some residents leaving this community to the next village, that is Papase. This is Domfase.
Watch CNR every day at 8 p.m. for a comprehensive bulletin of the biggest news stories.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, champion. Well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss. Yeah. So we saw it. But they have held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him. That this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan, there's a proverb. It's a kwasia na no so nsu so twati.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was but those days it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was apoteshi, So I just took it. When I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me? I'm like, Charlie, I'll never touch it. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you never smoked?
Smoked, no way.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Then who comes out of the car? Chachu Chikata and Kojo Chikata. And Chachu told me that they have, Kojo was sick since the morning and he has been tortured and whatnot. and they have come for a medical attention. Of course, naturally, I have to look after them, even though they are very close relatives. So I look at Kojo, I examine him, I notice that he's definitely been tortured. And, there was blood, deep-seated blood in the ears. You can see that clearly.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. for Footprints, only on Citi TV.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. Citi TV, it's your world.
one, Collabo. There's a modern rendition of the song Face to Face from way back. This is early 90s. Originally done by the Marriott Band with the senior Aquaba on vocals and keys on that song. 0549986996. A few birthday messages coming in. I'd like to wish Aminu Shadow of Dreams FC a happy birthday. Our birthdays follow each other. So mine was yesterday, Aminu's is today. So Aminu Shadow, happy birthday to you wherever you are. This one says happy birthday to Caleb, Soa Bekwin, and Cephas Bekwin of Teshi. May the Lord keep watching over you. That's a message coming from your cousins, Aram Ekle. Is it Eklenam or Ekleman? That's what it says here. I think it's supposed to be Eklenam.
Eklenam.
Okay, all right. And Efakonam.
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 Eklenam, and Efakonam.
Okay.
These are very beautiful names.
I see. All of Sakumona Estates. All right, this one says, kindly wish brother, colleague, and friend Michael Fafakoli of Tema Secondary School a special birthday. Tell him the Tilapia party is coming on live. Oh, you're inviting me. Okay, great. Thank you very much for the belated birthday wish. That's coming from Jake of Tema. This one says, today is my birthday. May boundless joy be my companion. That's Clemens. Clemens, happy birthday to you, Clemens of Jasikan. This one says, happy birthday to Cecilia Yawatman of McCarthy Hill from your lovely sisters and neighbors.
And let me say good morning to a very ardent listener of the Citi Breakfast Show, Michael Hosu of Ashaiman Atadeka, retired Chief Inspector of the Ghana Police Service. You are a great, great, great man. You inspire so many people, and it's good to know that Todum Akbar.
Yeah. GCB is telling you to gain more when you bank with them. At GCB, you stand to gain more. So switch or open a salary account today and gain more in the GCB Gain More promo. Now, this is what they mean by when this is what they mean when they say gain more. Get up to 300,000 cedis as a loan at a competitive interest rate and pay in 60 months at reduced upfront fees. Pay no monthly fees for 6 months. Get an instant reward when you make a deposit into your salary account and benefit from free life insurance cover for a year. Promo runs until April 2023. GCB is your bank for life. Now, this season, GTP is giving you a 5% discount when you make a bulk purchase of 50 or more fabrics for your organization, church, employees, or clubs. Call Beatrice on 0204 389605 to enjoy your deal and wow your stakeholders this season. Shop now to start saving. GTP Lifestyle. Now, in this day and age where rent is crazy and getting a place to stay is almost like a war, Ugo Flip is here to make sure the home ownership journey is realistic, fun, and more affordable. Log on to ugoflip.com, register with your phone number or email address, buy as many tickets as possible, and you stand a chance of winning a house at Pram Pram weekly game prizes or one of the many consolation prizes. Now, what makes Ugo Flip's win big game unique is that even if you don't win the ultimate prize, which is always a house, you get rewarded with loyalty points equivalent to $3 a ticket. When you accumulate these points, you can use that as a down payment towards buying your next home with Ugo Flip or with other affiliated property developers.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
I
yes, I'm in corner, me do. Or the bad I've been granny. I'm in dear. Coco, my way. What a man is now, not they knew. Me too many and Toby. Oh, what a merry way. Watch out. Watch out. I want to know. Me day, watch out. And I bro. All day, bro. I come to you.
7:40. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. Sending your comments on 0549 986 996. Now, tomorrow, we do know that the budget will be presented. After some uncertainty, at least that part is clear. The budget will be presented before the House of Parliament tomorrow. But the build up to this has been quite interesting. A few weeks ago, you had first 80 MPP MPs who said they didn't want Ken Ofori-Atta to remain as finance minister. The number has risen to 98 now. Okay. Also they claim. Okay. So these MPs put out, they did a press conference. They told everybody, look, we don't want Ken Ofori-Atta, all of that. So these are MPP MPs on the majority side. They called on the president to do so. The president said, okay, you let Mr. Ofori-Atta finish the IMF negotiations. Let him get the budget presented. And then we'll discuss what the way forward is.
And passed.
Yes, and passed. On the minority side, they decided to go through the parliamentary provision of a censure. So the censure motion has been heard. There were a few sittings, 3 or 4 sittings across last week. We do know that a report will be formally presented, and then we'll figure out what the way forward is from that point onwards. Remember, all of this, Sky, I think after this, the president has to, right, I think approve or something. The president's signature is needed, or his approval is needed for this to go full circle.
You mean the vote of censure?
Yeah, the vote of censure.
No,
yes.
the provision in the Constitution, Article 82, basically says that where the minister fails to resign before Parliament makes a decision, and the decision is to the effect that he should, be removed from office, then the president may revoke his appointment. Now, that is not instructive enough to say that it's not must, unless, of course, we know how the Supreme Court can sometimes interpret may to mean shall in very appropriate cases. So the question is whether the president will be purposed, even after a vote of censure, to remove him from office. Of course, we do know from our connections and understanding of how parliamentary process works that there's a certain appetite for Mr. Ofori-Atta himself to want to leave office, rather than face the embarrassment of having to be removed from office by the president or whatever it is. So if it comes down to it, my understanding is that it will most likely be a resignation rather than removal, strictly speaking, from office.
Okay, but so there's that. But the national executives of the New Patriotic Party, they've put out a very interesting statement saying that, okay, they've stepped in, or the party has stepped in to resolve the impasse between the 98 members of the majority caucus in Parliament and the president over the demands for the sacking of the finance minister. Now, the MPP legislators have threatened to boycott all business brought to the House by the finance minister, and that's very, very important. We note, okay, including the budget presentation expected to be done tomorrow. In view of this, the MPP's national executives held a meeting with the MPs to ensure that they did not carry out their threat. Now, a statement is out, signed by Honorable Anodompre, Majority Chief Whip, and Justin Kodua Frimpong, who's the MPP's General Secretary. Okay, very, very short statement. Richard, maybe you might want to go through.
Okay, so the statement basically was issued late last night after a meeting between the party leadership and then also members of the group of MPP MPs in Parliament. And that statement is titled Resolution of Impasse in the MPP Parliamentary Group, dated the 22nd day of November 2022. And it says that over the past 2 weeks, especially after the President had engaged the majority caucus over calls for the ouster of the Ministry of Finance as well as the Ministry of State at the Ministry of Finance, and a statement on the engagement had been issued, the country has witnessed a heightened public or media discussion on the same subject matter. Now, there have been occasional individual interventions, some of which have not helped the resolution of the issue in contention. Now, on the other hand, some of these interventions have contributed to escalating tensions and suspicions. Now, at a meeting this evening, yesterday, the 22nd day of November 2022, involving the majority caucus and the leadership of the party and the Council of Elders, it has been agreed that by all to refocus and recline to the earlier position requested by the President, to which, 1, the demand be stood down until the conclusion of the round of negotiations with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, which would feed into the 2023 budget. 2, the presentation of the 2023 budget statement and economic policy on the 24th of November 2022 by the Finance Minister on behalf of the President. And 3, the subsequent presentation and passage of the appropriation bill. Now, the meeting agreed that the President would act upon the initial request of the MPP Parliamentary Caucus after the consultation or the conclusion of these matters. Now, in the meantime, the leadership of the parliamentary group and the leadership of the party counseled the honourable members of the parliamentary party to resort to the caucus communication channels and, to the largest extent possible, work together as one caucus unit. Now, leadership and the party in this regard call upon the members of parliament to attend to all government businesses in the House, including, in particular, the 2023 budget statement and economic policy and all connected matters. And this is signed by the Honourable Arnaud Dompre, Member of Parliament and Majority Chief Whip, and then also Justin Kodia Frimpong, who is the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Now, what basically this is saying is that, you know, that over the last few weeks, we've had heated public discussions on this particular matter. The earlier demand was made publicly in Parliament by a group of MPs who said that they did not think that the Honourable Oforiatta was fit for purpose and should continue in office. When that happened, this was after the party had gone for some leadership meeting in the Eastern region where a number of issues were discussed per our sources. Now, that took the party to some extent by surprise, you know, and then there had to be action. So subsequently, the President invited the leadership of the party in Parliament, together with the MPs who were raising the issues, to the presidency to discuss the matter. At that meeting, the President heard the MPs and then told them that, look, this was a serious matter to deal with. However, there are bigger issues to contend with presently. The economy was facing serious challenges. We needed to negotiate as a country with the IMF to decide whether we're taking some stimulus package from them or not. And then also the budget needed to be presented, approved by Parliament, and then appropriation bill passed to that extent. Although they had the President, there were still misgivings. So when they came out of the meeting, public discussions continue, and they fed into that. Subsequently, there was a meeting with the leadership of the party in Parliament, at which meeting there was some agreement that, okay, let's listen to the President and let's pay heed to what he had to tell us. So that after, the presentation of the budget and conclusion of negotiations with the IMF and subsequent decision taken on the document to be arrived at, there will be a decision on whether or not the Minister for Finance should go. Of course, we know of some intervening developments, the removal from office of the minister's partner, exactly, over the Galamsey economy matter. But then people started talking again. So media discussions resumed over the matter. Demands kept growing that the minister must go. And it became clear that they were threatening that they would have nothing to do with the budget. They would have nothing to do with any business to be brought before the House by the finance minister if he was not removed. So the party leadership needed to take a decision per our understanding. So yesterday there was this meeting which was attended by the party chiefs and then, Council of Elders. These are very powerful people, the people who actually are the wise men and women behind the party. They attended that meeting together with the MPs who were not happy and the entire leadership and the caucus for that matter, at which meeting these decisions were taken. And hopefully, this should help stable the waters until the budget is presented and approved.
Yeah, the budget will be presented tomorrow. We'll see. Sames, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Very well, very well.
You followed the conversation from the MPs calling for Ken's head and all of that. We are at this point where the party now has jumped in officially and fully to say that, okay, we are trying to get things to be calm so that the finance minister can present the budget. So MPs at least 98 MPs on the majority side don't boycott government business, because that could have a huge effect on how all of this is happening. Your thoughts? Are you surprised at how this has evolved? Now the party has jumped in fully to try and get all the parties singing from the same sheet.
Well, I'm not surprised, because this is just the logical extension of what you'd expect. It's whatever action the majority was looking at is actually meant well, in my estimation. And so we are calling for the removal because we believe that his continued existence in the ministry will not augur well for the fortunes of our party and, for that matter, our government. And so if the removal, our request for the removal has been stated, we are now looking at the scheduling of this so-called removal. And we do not want to, as you say, cut your nose to spite your face. We don't want to do it to hurt ourselves. So there are clear and present challenges that we need to deal with. And so why don't we just steer him through that, and then when he's done, admitting that by itself will not solve our problems, we still come back to the president, again, based on our last official conversation with the president, reminding him that, you said, let's walk through this portion. We have come and still maintain that. I think it's a decent way to deal with some of these crisis moments. But at times I just ask myself the question of, and we've said it here many times, that is the removal of the finance minister going to be the solution to where we find ourselves? And I don't need a researcher to tell me that it's not the solution. It is that and many other things, including the removal of many other portfolio holders and different ministries. It's just what it is, But the targeting of a finance minister in a third world country is very normal. It's very, very normal. In a third world country like ours, every development issue is a political issue. Just can. Education is politics. Health is politics. What else is not? Even sports is politics.
Sports is very political.
Hospital. So I'm just saying that when you remove him, that's just step one. Others will have to go. Because you see, the talk of increasing VAT, is again reiterates the point that we've been making here, that it's not about just a management of our finances. The management of our finances is on one side, but on the other side of the equation is our ability to raise revenue. Our ability to raise revenue. And the easiest one is to raise taxes. You understand? But an announcement of an increment in taxes is not the same as an implementation of the same, as we have seen with e-levy. E-levy was fraught with vicious challenges.
From the very go.
From the get-go. They had their targets, and they have fallen short
woefully,
excruciatingly of the same targets. Okay, so I come back to this one. Let's go ahead, increase VAT. We will come with targets again. And we are sure that we will achieve them just like that.
You see, Professor, it looks like the government is failing to do what it promised it was coming to do in the first place.
Which was?
We are coming to help modernize the collection of taxes in our country, so that instead of piling up pressure on the pockets of people who are already paying taxes, let us distribute that pressure so that people who are not within the tax net will target them, collect taxes from them, so that we make the system more efficient. Now you're talking about increasing value added tax, the very thing that the president, then in opposition, fought against. You understand? What are you going to tell the people who lost their lives or their limbs as a result of the demonstration that was held, protesting VAT? Of course, we appreciate that there are challenges with revenue collection.
And taxes need to be paid.
Exactly.
That we understand.
But you see, the solution is not to be increasing already established taxes. You understand? It is about modernizing the ways of collecting them, because that was the promise you made, that we cannot continue to put pressure on people who are already paying taxes by piling up more taxes on them. Because already, look, the telcos are telling us that they are going to increase the cost of data, and tariffs generally will go up. Electricity, tariffs have gone up in several, ways. Again, the cost of food has gone up so astronomically that the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN is issuing notice to the effect that hunger is coming in a big way. And many Africans, including Ghanaians, will be reduced to the realm of extreme poverty. So if you are seeking to deal with the economic challenges, I think there should be a more acceptable way of dealing with the problem, rather than wanting to increase already established taxes, when in fact one way of dealing with the problem is to ensure that the people at Abosokai, who escaped the tax net, are paying. And I also don't think that the whole idea of going to sit in market, these days you see them at supermarkets,
exactly. These big supermarkets.
Enforcing. I think there should be smarter ways of dealing with
the whole effort. You see, I always look at this thing that is not a one-stop solution. It's several
things. So you combine several efforts.
If you see the GRA person rush from their comfortable offices to go and sit in a supermarket, they must be working at something you and I may not know. So I just give it to them. But we come back to the point. You are dealing with an economy that is made up of almost 70% informality. So it's an informal economy with not many structures. You get me? So this is where the real challenge is. So back to your point, we would have expected that from the get-go, the government would have tried to put structure to a larger part of the informal economy.
To try and formalize a bit the informal economy.
You understand? Trust me, there are, in our industry, and I'm talking about media industry, there are a good number of companies that you hear them by name, but they operate like informal economies, informal companies. I spoke to a gentleman yesterday who told me that he's been working for a particular company for some time. He's not for 6 years. He's never been given an employment letter before.
Wow.
So I asked him, do they pay your salary? He said they put it in my account. Do they pay SNIT? He said no. Do they pay for this? He said no. Wow. And there are several of them. So I'm just saying that how do we manage a situation like this without hurting the quote and unquote obedient companies? Because it's like you are more exposed the more obedient you are. And then there are people who always get away with it. It's a combination of several things. Revenue. So you are look, if the government wants to do something about VAT, I think the first thing is to either abolish the e-levy
entirely,
completely,
or reduce it
properly. You see, because it's people are angry with it. You can't just come and add more. It doesn't work. So either you throw it away somewhere or reduce it drastically. And then you can play around with the numbers. Because as for increasing VAT at this time, what is today's date? 23rd November 2022 is no more an option. It is not an option. I saw a banner, a screaming headline on one of the newspapers where that government to increase VAT, and I wanted to go and correct the English. They will. They have to. No, you see, if they don't do it, the IMF will shut the door. Because the IMF is looking at your numbers.
The numbers.
And wondering, where are you going to get the money from? There's no other way. Because we have sat down, dwindling fortunes in agriculture, dwindling fortunes in internal trade, interregional trade. You understand? And these are the main points of call where you can generate and increase trade activities.
And we haven't even produced enough. We don't produce enough.
I'm just saying that
and we are heavily imported.
We are in media, and media is connected to entertainment. Anytime the country takes a hit, we take a bigger hit. Because how many people are going to spend money in the media when they are thinking of how to pay their salaries? Increase business activity locally.
Generate more income.
To generate activity and more income. Look, I last week you guys were discussing something about the media, and later I was talking to your colleagues. I said, I think you have been immersed into this democracy thing, that everything about a good media is democracy. What democracy? It's a business. You can't use democracy to pay salaries. The best days of our media here in Ghana is between 2005 and 2008. As I'm talking about media business. You know why? Because of a policy by President Quao to open our economy
and bring
participation of the Nigerian banks, the telcos, and all these people that came. So that rubbed off each other and generated competition. And if there's competition, there's healthy competition for survival. What do? They advertise. In advertising, you pump money into the media. That's what, you see, what I'm saying is that if we think that employing more people and pushing them into the public service is creating employment, it's called lies 101.
and sometimes I think it's also important. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. I'll come back and take more thoughts from Sky and Samens. You can send in your thoughts on 0549-986-996. Coming up next is tech and social media trends, brought to us by Cowbank. Cowbank is saying that the Cyber Week is almost here. So whatever it is you are looking for on Black Friday, on Cyber Monday, just get your Cowbank card and shop till you drop. You can also shop virtual on the Cowbank app. Get in touch with Cowbank on 0800 500 500. Send an email, customercare@cowbank.net, or visit their website, cowbank.net. Cowbank, forward together. And the segment is also brought to us by Vodafone. Let me say good morning to Mr. Cranton once again.
Nathan.
Yes, sir.
Some police officers in Western North region, they are misbehaving.
They misbehaved.
They beat some man.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, the video is there, clear. They are just beating the man.
Why did they do this?
Oh, the man had a bag. They said there's marijuana in the bag. So they are beating the man. The guy is on the floor. Oh, go to Japan to get the guy's back. Oh,
they said marijuana is in the bag.
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag.
So they are beating.
So they wanted to see.
They wanted to search the thing.
Just that.
Just that.
Or they needed some.
The aggression, I'm sure they
probably with this kind of aggression.
I'm sure they wanted.
When I saw the video, I said, "Hey,
the guy's back down."
No.
Charlie, marijuana apparently are doing this.
They have to deal with them.
Oh no, they have to. They have to. When things like this happen, I'd really. That's why I love the IG. I know that he will do all he can to weed out these two
guys,
very stubborn.
They tire self. Charlie, just tired. Charlie.
But you know the statement has they've ID'd the two of them, and their names are in the statement.
But I think Dr. Dampare, apart from everything else, is working overtime in just bringing discipline to his own
Before he extend it.
So it will get to a point you don't even know who is who. Charlie, I will come on now.
Your name is behaving. Also in the trends, Saudi Arabia is trending.
Kaish.
Yaudabo is trending. And hey, Argentina is also trending.
I know there's a holiday in Saudi Arabia today.
Because of
they declared a holiday.
They are done with the World Cup.
Whatever happens from this day onwards, we don't care. We are done. We've beaten Argentina.
You know why Yaudabo is trending?
Yeah, why is Yaudabo?
In these parts. Yeah, the mercurial Yaudabo, the Wizkid, aka Lionel Messi. Yeah, that's how he's known in these parts. Yaudabo.
You know Yaudabo, the actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you know him, eh?
No, Sky
doesn't.
But
what?
The way he's saying it, I'm not convinced.
Sky doesn't watch settings, man.
Yeah, Yaudabo, he played a full game, but Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Shock. And as you said, there's a holiday in Saudi today.
They are jamming.
Oh, Nanaro, tomorrow when we beat Portugal.
We want holiday.
Friday. Charlie. Friday holiday. The way someone is laughing there.
But Charlie, no. But she Ghana, we have to debate everything. Even the holiday.
No, in our economic circumstances, we cannot have a holiday.
We can't afford.
Ronaldo is also in the trends. Yesterday, a statement was released. He's leaving Man United.
Okay.
After the fallout from that interview he had with Piers Morgan, and then minutes after that, Man United also released a statement. The club is
don't call me.
Don't call me. It's for sale.
Don't call me.
Bling.
I got him.
Well, I hear he may be headed for your club. Arsenal.
Which club?
I saw some stories.
Arsenal.
You mean us?
Yeah.
Arsenal. No, as what?
As striker.
Oh, don't do that.
Arsenal can be Ronaldo.
Don't get serious. The man, even his picture has been removed from. They don't joke with these things.
Disrespect, huh?
Take it from me. No English club, no, and I mean it. No English club
will take him back.
Would try this.
Because the last thing you want is bad
if
press.
You are seen as being disrespectful to an institution like Manchester United,
nobody
which manager will try?
If Man U can't handle you, then nobody can handle you. So there's this beautiful photo trending on social media. Black Stars midfielder Daniel Kofi Trey. So he posted it on his IG. In 2006, the World Cup. So he's a young boy. He's lying down. There's a match ball by him. And there's a small poster by his bed, the Black Star squad in 2006.
Okay.
With his Ghana paraphernalia all around the bed. And it's a dream, believe, achieve. Today he's going to represent Ghana.
Tomorrow, you mean?
Yeah, tomorrow he's going to represent Ghana at the World Cup. It's such a beautiful photo. So if you haven't seen it, it's on his Instagram, in fact, and people have posted it all over Twitter. And still on the Black Stars.
But the picture, you have to tell him more because Charlie, when the guests are just
you know,
giving him fans on social media,
you should be very careful.
You read Ghana football history. Charlie.
men have fallen. Men have fallen. Before there was you, men have fallen.
Higher crown.
Something masculine, man.
Before I go, Baumia, just before I came, Baumia just released some video.
Okay. Which of them? The vice president?
The vice president. Skills. It's a message to the Black Stars.
Okay.
And he's laced it with some freestyle. Skills.
That's it. Soccer skills.
No, the guy is serious.
Oh, I see.
Hey! Milo, do you know Milo?
Yeah, Milo.
Yeah.
Why he was playing Totals.
Totals, then he did Milo.
That's second social media trends brought to us by Cowbank and Vodafone.
Massa, make what make you go. We need to go to the bank first before we go and pay for the things. Time no day like that too.
Relax. Everything dey in my hand inside.
Massa, we need to get the cash.
Forget the cash. See, transfer, payment. I dey use the Cowbank app. No stress.
That's slow for me. I still forgo my bank. I don't have account for Cowbank.
I say forget the cash. Even without an account at Cowbank.
Hi. Have you missed any business news this week?
our appeal to the banks that it is not enough to show fat profits at the end of the year, publish them in the newspapers, and feel good.
Are you looking for a way to consume business news without getting lost in all of the technical language? Well, for our traders down here, all they care about is the fact that this could likely affect the cost of doing business.
We used to pay an average of 3,000 somewhere in November. Now it has shoot as much as $12,000 for a 40-footer container.
Business Weekly brings you all the top business stories of the week in an exciting manner.
Business Weekly, Sundays at 3 p.m. only on Citi TV.
Well, so, are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome back. There's still the Citi Breakfast Show. The messages are coming in on 0549986996. But let's not forget that clean water and decent toilets are a human right, yet 256 million people in West Africa, or 64% of people, do not have access to a proper toilet. World leaders have signed up to a set of global goals that guarantee the basics for everyone, and the deadline is 2030, and it's just 8 years away. And we need to change tack now. With your help, we can hashtag change the score on decent toilets for all. Just follow WaterAid Ghana and WaterAid West Africa on social media for more updates on how to support this campaign. Don't forget to tweet and post with the hashtag #ChangeTheScore. Next week, Tuesday, November 29 to Thursday, the 1st of December, you need to be at the Accra International Conference Center Grand Arena to participate in the 7th edition of West Africa's leading agro-food and plast print pack exhibition and conference. The highlights are the fact that you will meet exhibitors from 15 plus countries. You see innovative technologies and solutions, and there are high-level conferences as well. Admission is free. Pre-register at agrofood-westafrica.com or call 0245 529 467. The British Council is inviting vice chancellors, pro-vice chancellors, rectors, tertiary education stakeholders, policymakers, entrepreneurship hubs, and ecosystem players, employers, students, graduates, and the general public to Ghana's Innovation for African Universities closing seminar. The Innovation for African Universities program for the past 18 months has united, supported, and implemented 24 Africa-UK collaborative projects in unis and not-for-profit organizations across Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. Now, the date is Thursday, November 24 at the British Council Auditorium in Accra. Time is 10 a.m. And this closing seminar is bringing together the network partners and other key project stakeholders from the 4 grant winners in Ghana to reconnect, share learnings, and reflect on their program implementation journeys. To attend this program, visit the British Council website, britishcouncil.org.gh, and social media pages to register. Your messages are welcome on 0549986996. We're still talking about the budget to be presented tomorrow. I think the Daily Graphic is providing a very, very interesting and great preview as to one of the big things that are likely to be mentioned in the budget. It looks like VAT will be going up. We'll get that. So that is on one hand. On the other side, which is MPs being there and approving that, we do know that the New Patriotic Party's General Secretary and a Member of Parliament, Frank Anodompre, the two of them have co-signed a statement that says that the 98 NPP MPs who said they were going to boycott government business and ultimately wanted Ken Ofori-Atta to leave, they've at least been calmed down and they should be there to help the process go through fully. There's a story on citynewsroom.com on Kennedy Japan saying that NPP MPs should not boycott parliamentary sittings on Thursday, tomorrow, especially as the budget will be read. So, and again, to put things into context, a few weeks ago, the president asked for these MPs. At the time, there were 80 of them. The number ballooned to 98. He was telling them to just keep calm. Let Mr. Ofori-Atta handle 2 important things. 1, the IMF negotiations, and 2, presentation of the budget. And then after that, and passing of the budget. And then after that, they'll see what the way forward is. So this is where we are. We are just sharing, a few opinions on what the way forward is and whether or not just getting rid of the finance minister is the end all or be all, especially when we know that there are very serious decisions to be made as a country immediately and across the long term.
Exactly.
So that's what we are doing. I've got Richard Delaska here. Samens is also here. Samalata is here with me. And we are just sharing thoughts. Sky, you were making a point before.
Yes, I was saying that in addition to what Samen said, you see, before you ask people to pay more, I think there's a certain deficit that governments over the years have not been able to deal with, which is harnessing a lot more of the trust of the people and saying that, okay, you asked me for 10 cedis, I used it for this. So there's justification to go back to them and say that, oh, because I use it for this and I use it so judiciously, please give me more, because what I said I was going to do, although my target was this, I was unable to do it. Now, if you look across the board, when President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came into office, his justification for appointing in excess of 100 ministers was what?
There was a lot
These
of
are the people I need to be able to deal with the problems of Ghana and deal with this, efficiently. Deliver the goods that I've promised the people of Ghana. Now, 6-7 years down the line, can we say confidently that the over 100 ministers who did the project Nana Addo promised us between 2017 and 2000 and 2020, and then the
2021,
21
now.
exactly, and then now, can we say that they have been able to deliver the goods for the good people of Ghana? Of course, I admit that the economic challenges that we are facing have something to do with the global economic problems that every country is facing. I mean, if you turn on the television sets and you're watching international news, especially those that are not European enough to want to play the European agenda, demonstrations are happening on a daily basis. People are complaining about the cost of gas. People are complaining about the cost of food. Farmers are demonstrating in the Netherlands. They are demonstrating in New Zealand about some government policies that are hitting them so badly. So as for the economic challenges, they are global. However, can we evaluate the problems locally and see what role the government itself played in where we find ourselves? And that is where my point is. That instead of going back to the people all the time and asking them to pay more, I think the president would have to use his ministers and appointees to demonstrate to the people that, look, we are somewhere, we are in a big hole. Attitudes must change. Why do we still need all these ministers in office in order to deliver the goods that you promised, which seem to have fallen short of expectation? Secondly, why do we still need all these appointees, left, right, and center, chief executive of the... Why can't we merge the institutions? The ministries can be merged.
And
to reduce,
the duplicates.
Exactly, because the people must see that, look, you have realized where we are at the moment. There is a need for us to do something about the numbers, reduce or cut costs, so that all of us can shoulder the problem, the burden, and deal with it. But if you're running on the same system, nothing has changed drastically. People are still flying left, right, and center to conferences that don't matter. I mean, you cannot seriously go back to the people and ask them to pay for, these things.
Yes.
It doesn't send the right signal. So the president must show compassion. He must show us that he feels the problems we feel, and he is directing his ministers to act accordingly. And he must cut the ministries, cut the departments, the agencies. The numbers must go down. And the V8s that are running around the country, these things, people must see it. If they don't see it, why would you ask me to pay for more?
They won't believe.
You see, Sky, I like where you started from, that there's a global economic challenge or crisis that that is affecting every country except Russia. Okay, now let me take my time. The United States, the giant economy of United States, was seriously affected by COVID. COVID caused the US to overspend by another 50% or so, which spiraled their debt to GDP ratio to an all-time high. Now, currently, the US is trending a debt to GDP ratio of about 125%.
Okay. 125%.
Yes. Okay. The quarter before, that's the previous quarter, they were trending 127%. What I'm saying is, they were hit like we were hit. Tax cuts during the pandemic, stimulus packages, increased government spending, decreased tax revenue, which caused widespread unemployment and all those things. But if between two quarters they were able to move from 127 to 125, that should tell you that something positive is happening progressively. Now, we woke up to a large number of appointees, and the president insisted on keeping them with a justification that, look, my assessment of the task ahead will require that I have this number of people. Fast forward, we do our own evaluation, and we notice that, and we are not using anybody else's marking scheme. We are using the marking scheme of the president and an MPP, that based on what you said you would deliver and what we see happening, we see a gap. We are not saying that do magic to create wealth at all cost. We are saying that there are the low-hanging fruits that can help us adjust, in addition to whatever major measures. And one of those things is reducing the size of government. Papa, as for reducing the size of government, it has to be done. If not for anything, for the optics. Okay, see, we did something very small. We have how many? 22 ministries?
20, yeah, about 22 ministries.
Thereabouts. Ministry of National Security. We have Ministry of Industry and Trade, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Defense, Ministry of Justice. Why can't we quickly add information to communication?
Right.
Why can't we? So that we can keep one minister. Why can't we have Ministry of Agric and Fisheries? Because fisheries is agric anyway.
Agriculture anyway.
I mean, why can't we? We have Ministry of Energy, we have Ministry of Education, roads and transport, they can merge. They are so interconnected.
In fact, education and science and related environment can also
exactly. You have youth and sports, tourism, culture, and we can reduce it if we want to. Because what it costs the government to maintain one ministry and its functions. I mean, we don't need it in this crisis moment. Now, so that will do for the ministries. Now, let's come to MDAs. Let's come to the agencies. And the multiple appointments. Some are very, very redundant because they replicate one another's duties.
So some of the special purpose vehicles, for example.
Yes. You see, what I'm saying is that it's somebody aware that this crisis will not be solved by an external hand. It's not the kind of crisis that foreign aid will come and solve.
In fact, they are even engaged. They are thinking of Russia, Ukraine war. That's where they are sending the money to.
Didn't you see the British Prime Minister? He was in Ukraine. He went there.
Yeah, he went Sunak.
The man went there. He is not thinking about us. But as for us, I think this is very simple logic. Reduce the government size. Reduce the size of government. That's the.
It's the first thing we do.
I mean, if you remove Ken Ofori-Atta and you don't reduce size of government, nothing will change. Yeah. And Mr. President, as for the Ken Ofori-Atta, where it's gotten to, we know that he will leave. But you are the leader of this country, and we want to feel your leadership. So it's not just succumbing to Ken's exit that will resolve anything. But as the leader, you have to go beyond that to now stand your ground and take decisions which, in your own estimation, will bring relief to the country. We have 2 more years to elections. If people don't see from your body language that you are effecting change or you are willing to effect change, we are going to have repeated cycles of agitations, streetisms. People are going to go on the street. And look, the labor conversation has not even concluded.
No. They've had 2 meetings. None of
more than that.
More than that.
And yesterday I saw Bampuado, and I know Bampuado. I know him very well. You can't read any expression from that man's face. He'll be smiling even if he means that he's going to dagger you. The man was smiling and said, actually, as for us, Ejina baby Ejina. Wow. And I'm saying that they are the negotiations, it has to end today. If they are reading the budget tomorrow, they have to conclude. And that's a difficult place for government. You understand? So you cannot, you see, at times, people are more forgiving when you show a certain compassion or empathy to their needs or their concerns. The fact may not have changed, but seeing that you are also doing something. I've heard governments, spokesperson talk about, we have reduced, we've
cut salaries 30%, the fuel allocations have been cut.
You see, I find that sad when I hear things like that, because we know that cutting salaries by 30% will not solve the problem. Because, in fact, you did it and it hasn't solved the problem. We are thinking that cutting the size of government at the ministry level, cutting the size of at the MDA level, and also putting a hold on some of the projects.
That don't matter.
Because, one, you don't even have the money.
And lots of the projects have stalled anyway.
Yes. And you see, if you don't have a planned suspension of a project, it becomes very expensive in the longer term. So we mean well for the country. The president means well for the country. We only think that with the crisis that we see, the body language is not consistent with what we are told we are going to achieve. So the call is that reduce the size of government.
As for that, is non-negotiable.
Reduce the size of government, and from here we say that change some of your ministers, not just reducing this, change some of them.
Fire them.
Even in football, which is just entertainment.
They change coaches.
They change people. They change key players. You understand? So if you are just, you see, I was saying it here. Maybe the president believes in this party loyalty thing, which by itself is not wrong.
Loyalty it must be to the country.
I am saying that every politician will have this kind of loyalty. But one day in February of 2025, Nana Akufo-Addo will wake up,
ex-president,
and hear some of the things being said about him by the very people that he is breaking his back to protect.
Right.
He will collapse when he hears some of these things.
And the power is gone.
So I'm just saying that do your best for the country, but there are low-hanging fruits. And look, another thing that for me as a person annoys me is that a lot of these guys that the president is trying to preserve, they are the ones who even give filler to the media.
The same people he's trying to
stoking.
The same people he's trying to help.
The ones who give Papa, they are the ones who have been giving us filler. Oh, I'm telling you.
Why you won't cut our supply line?
No, you see that thing. The president believes that we are in it together. We are in it together. And look, when push comes, you see, even when there's crisis, please, we are all in media. How many ministers take to the media?
Not at all.
You want somebody to talk, they don't even.
And I'm saying, is this the MPP that we knew in the 90s and in the 2000s?
Not at all. People are doing self-preservation.
That something happens and it is left to Kojo Oppong Nkrumah to defend everything or even to explain everything, including times that he doesn't even have the facts.
Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Up next is Your Money. Your Money is brought to you by CBG, we stand with you.
And, consistent with what we've been saying, I think your money this morning should have to do with saving or cutting cost. Because, seriously, I mean, we are in very, very, very difficult times globally. It is hitting us here in Ghana. Extreme poverty is coming. Hunger is coming big time. So this is not the time to be buying flashy cars, flashy rides, flashy clothes, shoes, all these things that you do just to impress, or go and sit on social media and show your friend that, oh, you have this, the new sneakers in town, you have one. No, it is the time to preserve the very little that you have. If you use 3 air conditioners in your house, if you can, please stop all of them entirely, or use just one. Chill the room for a bit, and then turn it off, because the cost of electricity will hit you so hard, and January is just around the corner. We have to pay fees. So please, if you are the father of the home, or you are the mother who is the father of the home, you know what to do. You have to be strict, insist on cost cutting. Otherwise, no, Ebefowl.
Sky is giving your money with the police car.
That was your money. Your money brought to you by CVG. We stand with you.
A bank that supports you. A bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up. Big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams are alive. CBG will make you smile. No matter where. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish. Your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG. We stand with you.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Welcome back. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show, live on your dial 97.3 FM. Some messages have come in. Richard, let's go through some of the comments, and we'll proceed.
Okay, this one is coming in from Edmond and says that, good morning, CBS. I don't see Mr. President sacking the finance minister. Rather, he wants to see if the tension and pressure on the minister will calm down. Please bring Godfred in to tell us what happened to his darling Argentina. Well, people are still mocking Lionel Messi and his performance yesterday with Argentina. This one says, hi, CBS. Ghana can do with just 20 ministers. 1, merge a number of ministries. 2, No deputies because the directors at those ministries already do a lot of work. 3, split Ghana into 3 large regions or zones. Appoint regional coordinating directors over the zones who will report to a local government minister. And 4, reduce MPs across the country by 50%. This is coming in from Tema.
Interesting
Let's
suggestion.
cut. Yes, a very interesting suggestion. Some will require.
Sky,
10 Ghana in
City
50.
Newsroom did an exercise this week, which we are going to publish. What we think should be the new normal.
The new normal.
In terms of the number of ministers. We'll publish it today on City Newsroom.
That'll be very important. This one is without a name. Says, why should we even have a ministry responsible for tourism? Why not upgrade a tourism board to a tourism commission and empower it to champion the tourism sector? Okay, continues and says that I worked for a company for 3 years. They deducted SNIT every month and never paid. Oh, that's criminal. Very popular company.
But that's not a government thing. It's a criminal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was in response, when we started talking about SNIT, VAT, and all of that. Yes,
it wasn't me alone. All the staff complained about that. You see, these things should be reported to the appropriate agencies. There's a law that protects, whistleblowers. So when you find out things like this, please silently report. The only problem is that in this country, people sometimes blow the cover of the people who are reporting, and which is not good. It happens within the police service. They will call you massa. Chale, who now show you? I could be a bahase, Chale.
Even Galamse, and someone else was telling us that the police, the people will put together a plan. They want to go, then they'll call the chief at 4 a.m.
DC, MC, currency, police people. Ahomachi, you say Galamse for no. They say, oh yes sir, yo, Charlie. This is waiting to wake up in the morning.
Go and do open.
2 a.m. Galamse market. Oh, namasa another namasa mobile.
Look at all the.
So in this country, meanwhile, you knew one, it's not good. And this one says that this government is the only one in Africa to get $2 billion from the IMF in the name of COVID, and 250 million euros, or is that pounds, from the World Bank as well. On top of that, we are paying COVID tax, e-levy, and increased utility tariffs. He shouldn't get on our nerves by insulting our intelligence. Upon all the hardship you put on us in this country, you still want to borrow more. Haba, fear God. This one says, reducing the e-levy rate will give the government more revenue than maintaining the current rate. Good morning, team. Great discussions. It appears the other side of the economic argument, which is lost, is the financial prudence angle. It's not only a matter of revenue. Otherwise, we will be pouring water into a basket. From Desmond in. So
the being prudent part, even before you get into all other things, will be reducing the size of government. That's as prudent as it comes.
Exactly.
You start from there, and then you work your way.
The projects that don't matter, you cut them, and then efficiency, ensuring that you are monitoring what people are doing. Why do we still continue to pay money to road contractors in some cases where the road contracts are not being done well? When hospital projects are being implemented, how do we ensure that they are efficiently implemented? Things that we say we are buying, are they buying the right quality? These are some of the questions we need to engage. Good morning, Nathan. E-levy is the most nuisance tax of any government should think of. Yet the Nana Bawumia-led MPP government brought it on us to increase the already difficult situation we find ourselves as Ghanaians. Posterity will judge us. This is coming in from Prince Henry in Koforidua.
Your messages are welcome on 0549 986 996. But Ghana Pay is here. The all-new Ghana Pay mobile money service app is working. You can download it from the App Store or the Play Store, and you can also register by dialing *707# and by visiting any branch of your selected bank to activate your wallet. Ghana Pay transaction be free. You only pay e-levy. Ghana Pay your money your way, and it's a collaboration between GIPS and the Ghana Association of Banks. Some people enjoy coaching their football teams from the comfort of their couch. Others love to visit the sweet-smelling perfume shops in France from their phones. Selfline knows all of this, so they are making the data fast and easy to get. All you have to do is get a Surfline device or top up more, and you can experience uninterrupted hours of fun. You can also qualify, or you also qualify for a free voucher to Surfline partners like X-Men Cheesy Pizza, Doman Foods, Body Basics. So top up and get a Surfline device today to enjoy all of these. Surfline, better together. Have you been hustling under the scorching sun? Are you tired and thirsty? Do you need a quick refreshment? That's why Coca-Cola is here. You can get Coke Zero, Fanta, Sprite in a 300 ml returnable glass bottle at 2 cedi 50 pesos. You can also get Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, Fanta, Sprite in a 300 ml plastic bottle at 3 cedi 50 pesos. And your favorite Coke Classic in a 300 ml plastic bottle at the recommended retail price of 3 cedi 50 pesos. So whatever it is you're doing, make Coca-Cola a part of that moment. Coca-Cola, real refreshment for all occasions. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, you need to try it first. Now, you must have realized how time-consuming the hiring process is. You are sitting through countless interviews. That's a hassle. Just share that burden with The Room. They give you access to a community of versatile and well-trained talents that are determined to go above and beyond in their respective fields. So whatever it is you're doing, is it data entry, admin roles, anything you want in your office, The Room will help you. Visit theroom.com to hire better talent faster. 8:45. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Your comments are welcome on 0549986996. Richard?
Yeah, there's somebody plugging in from the system, and the name I would not read. But basically, he's saying that the September invigilation by the GRA was just to confirm suspicion of theft by some major outlets, and also because these outlets had refused to allow GRA to install its VAT monitoring software and free accounting software on their systems earlier in the year, citing legal mandate as defense and reason. GRA went back to Parliament at mid-year to get mandate to do the installation. For the first time, GRA, 3 databases are talking together and matching other national databases. Now, compliance is top of the list this year for the GRA and is yielding results. Don't forget, even volumes of important, leveling out on yields, on inflation, yet we are practically almost on track on targets set by the GRA. It goes on to say, improved measures of revenue collections is what is saving us this year. Frankly, with the failure of e-levy, property tax, and inability to arrive at agreement to implement the benchmark in the stated budget, we should have had close to a 20% gap on target this year, if not for the improved compliance measures. We are doing a year-on-year increase of about 30% this year. Yet, with all the failed revenue measures, GRA is practically on track. So basically, he's arguing that although we are suffering in terms of collecting, some of the measures they have introduced are working, and that we should encourage them to do more.
No, I think back in the day, GRA would have been in the news exposing companies
for not
for what with that exercise they did. I think the effort is not to destroy people's companies. So I think that GRA needs to be commended for that. Because look, from what we have heard happen in some of these huge shops,
it's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
they're under declaring.
Whatever the GRA has to do per its mandate, I think that's what for us. That's
once it is within law.
Our problem is if we do not exhaust all the existing channels, and all we do is to keep slapping more taxes, then that's where the problem is.
You're talking about policy. A few days ago, the Bank of Ghana brought a very, very interesting policy. It said it was not going to provide forex support, for imports of rice, poultry, vegetable oil, toothpicks. This is the part that killed me. Toothpicks and other non-critical goods. So the Bank of this is all in a bit to rein in the dollar and ensure that the depreciation is the depreciation of the cedi is halted and at least things stabilize. Because when we look at everything that is going on, the biggest consequence really is the fact that we suffer here as a country.
Yep.
We need more cedis to get dollars to do or to import all kinds of things, right? So the Bank of Ghana says, okay, look, they will not provide forex support for the import of rice, poultry, vegetable oil, toothpicks, and other non-critical goods. In response, the AGI welcomed the move. Okay, so here's a report just detailing what the status quo is, or just giving you some more info on the Bank of Ghana's directive and what it plans to do.
Ghana's economy has come under stress due to a 50% steep depreciation of the local currency, rising inflation currently at a little over 40%, and rising interest rates. The fall in the value of the cedi has been attributed to excess demand not matched by supply. The bulk oil distribution companies who import crude, an essential commodity in the Ghanaian economy, have been one of the hardest hit as foreign currency, especially the dollar, becomes short in supply. This has resulted in a sharp rise in prices of petrol and diesel and a shortage of premix fuel owing to the inability of the BDCs to fulfill their obligations to their suppliers. To help fix this, the Bank of Ghana is withdrawing forex support to some imports and channel same to the bulk oil distribution companies and other essential goods, and channel same to the BDCs. These imports include rice, poultry, vegetable oil, toothpicks, pasta, fruit juice, bottled water, ceramic tiles, and non-critical goods. The Association of Ghana Industries has lauded the government for the bold step taking and says it is ready to fill the void provided the right conditions are created for local businesses.
For a very long time, several years, AGI has been advocating for promotion of production of goods locally. And so if government is taking steps to ensure that local products are receiving the needed attention, it's really a great thing for us in AGI. Because as you see, the big challenge we're facing now is because we're not patronizing locally made products, and we're relying very heavily on imported products, making the cedi under intense pressure. So if the central bank is going to withdraw support for non-essential commodities, that is good, especially for those products that we have the capacity locally to produce. I can assure you that AGI has capacity to produce most of these products that we import. We have capacity to produce, for example, cooking oil.
Yes, I remember the last time we spoke, you mentioned Wilma.
Yes.
That Wilma has capacity to produce.
Yes, we can produce cooking oil. We have capacity to produce machetes. We have capacity to produce cables, electric cables. In fact, the qualities are so good. People come from different parts of the world to come and buy our cables. We have capacity to produce things like sanitary pads and all of these. So why do we continue to import them if we have capacity to produce? Okay, so any measure to ensure that it's always local products are always preferred to imported ones are good.
From the traders' perspective, the Ghana Union Traders Association, GUTA, says the move by government, if implemented by the right approach, will help the country gain self-sufficiency. President of GUTA, Joseph Obing, tells Citi News that members of the association are diversifying their trade to take advantage of the new policy.
As we all know, we've come to the realization that excessive importation has been the problem of the nation. The perennial depreciation of the cedi have been a problem for all of us. For us, the trading community, we want a solution to this. And if this is the way to go, why can't we support it? Especially when governments have been able to identify the potential areas that we all also admit that if we make a little more effort, we'll be able to be self-sufficient, consume what we produce here in those items, and even be able to export it. For our very selves, we are also even trying to diversify our trade, because trading means buy and sell of goods. We have been buying these goods, and then we have to look within, get the goods that is we have here in abundance and competitively. Then we also export to shore up the forests in this country. So this is the surest way to go. When we went to Parliament about 2 days ago, 3 days ago, all the stakeholders, AGI, Chamber of Commerce, and Ghana Union of Traders Association, we all came to a conclusion and we built consensus that this is the surest way to go, and we have to give it a support.
Meanwhile, economics and lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah, has asked the central bank to tread carefully. He says a sudden withdrawal of forex support for a commodity like rice is not the way to go. He is dreading the artificial increase in price, as in his estimation, the local producers do not have the capacity to produce the rice needs of the country.
More or less a knee-jerk kind of reaction, and I don't see any impact it will make, in a sense that if you take our import bill, which calls for the dollar demand, well, we know very well that there are some products that indeed you can produce them here. So why do you have to import them? You can't get up overnight to put up a statement like that because you've not assessed the capacity in-house, the capacity in the country, whether the local farmers will be able to supply, the rice, demand on the market. So usually such policies are supposed to be gradual. You look at it, give it target based. So assuming you have a policy like planting for food and jobs, and you are targeting only rice, you know that very well in the next maybe 5 years, your demand for rice will reduce by 70%. So effectively 30% will be only imported, right? So it will turn up to save your dollar. So it forms part of the restructuring of the economy, which we've been calling for every now and then, that even as part of the political manifesto that has been read over the years, we talk about taxation to production. It's a gradual process, and we anticipate that we'll get to that point one day. But to get up and say we've stopped importing rice, we stopped giving dollar for importation of rice, importation of poultry, I think it's too harsh. This should have been going by percentages and then giving, okay, fine. We can only accommodate, some few coins dollars for importation up to this level. But we expect that the local farmers will meet up in terms of the demand.
For stakeholders in the energy sector, the move is already paying off. Charles Osukumi for Citi News.
So that was Charles Kumi's report detailing what the Bank of Ghana wants to do. So the Bank of Ghana says, look, they are not giving cash or forex to people who want to import rice, poultry, vegetable oil, toothpicks, and other non-critical goods. I don't know if that has stopped the importation, because I'm sure that November 23rd, people's consignments have already arrived and they are chilling in the warehouses waiting to be unleashed
onto the Ghanaian market.
Onto the Ghanaian market. Of course, the price will go up. But we're also talking about what we can do to help ourselves. Clearly, we've identified that, look, we spend too much money of the money we don't even have a lot of. Bringing in all kinds of things by now as a country, we probably should have been producing. Toothpicks, for example. Think about that. Rice, we have a lot of. There are rice farmers here. We had a very good friend up north who's spending an arm and a leg transporting rice from Tamale to Tema. Poultry farmers in the country, all over the country. Very recently, we read a report that the poultry industry in the Bono region was nearing a collapse. In the last 2 to 3 years, the amount of stories we've done and seen on poultry farms and poultry farms that are shutting down, farmers who are exiting the space, and just this whole thing of the poultry industry that is dying, and yet we are blowing hard money. Sometimes we are blowing cash, good cash, on importing poultry products. Whereas if we had helped our poultry farmers, would be far, far, far better off than we are today. And the dollar won't be doing what it is doing to us.
Well, I think, again, we come back to something Sky referred to early on about the hope that was drawn from the promises that the MPP gave from the beginning. You understand? That it generated so much hope. But we have not stuck to the knitting. As in, we haven't kept the detail and we haven't walked through the development agenda that was espoused by the MPP. At best, a lot of them have been reduced to slogans. Okay? So, you see, that's my worry about, Ken must go and Ken must go. You see, it's worrying me not because I want him to stay. It's worrying me because we have oversimplified the problem.
Much more nuanced and complex than that.
It's more complex than that. And if Ken must go, he has to go. But let's not deceive ourselves that the exit of the finance minister will be the beginning of the solution. I'm not so sure about that. That we've listed 1,001 things. Cutting down size of government, slowing down some of the projects. Look, while we're in the studio, we've had scores of messages referring to the Keta port, that there's supposed to be a port there, and then they have a CEO. I'm not so sure what the details are, but if indeed there's supposed to be a port, which is an organization that is going to create the port there, and it doesn't exist yet, and yet there's a CEO, then that's wrong. If what we are hearing is what it is, then it is wrong. Because what we know is that there's a ministry in charge of that sector, which ministry can appoint a project management team to start all the processes leading to the establishment of the port. Team members will be drawn from connected agencies and the ministry, meaning that you don't have to pay them separately.
Secondment will do.
So, but if we have to indeed appoint a CEO when the thing does not exist, one, the CEO himself will be contradicting himself because there are a lot of things that he will still have to go back to the ministry in order to facilitate. And there are people in the ministry who have a better picture of what the situation looks like. So if indeed there's somebody who is working and being on salary as the CEO of the Keta Port, then that's another wrong move. So we are saying that there are low-hanging fruits that we should deal with. If we are able to deal with these things, even if we don't solve all our problems, first of all, the MPP itself will use that effort to energize their support base. Because, look, where we sit, we also talk to people. And I'm sure you as politicians, you also talk to people. The only difference is that the people that you talk to as senior politicians are normally people who want to say things that will make you happy. I don't want to say they will deceive you. So I didn't say that. But they will say things to make you happy. As for us, they don't owe us any happiness. They tell us as it as is. And we are saying that you need to make moves that will energize your own support base and give them something to brag about. Of all the things that your support base can brag about, appointing a CEO for an agency that does not exist at all is the worst example of it. So, and the premise is that if it is true, then it's wrong.
Yeah, in fact, there's even a story, if I may help you here. Keta Port GPHA clarifies role of the director. The story was published on the 29th of September 2020. It says that the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority says the appointment of Dr. Alexander Yao Eduse Jr. as the director of the Port of Keta, currently in its formative stages, is not and cannot be out of place. Now, it is in keeping with quote-unquote international best practices and any member of the public who has any further inquiries towards the establishment of the Port of Qatar should contact, okay, I don't want to read this number, for further clarification, a statement issued on Tuesday by the General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Affairs of the GPHA, Mrs. Esther Jebi Donko. It says that the prodding follows what the GPHA says are some unfortunate comments by individuals, particularly on social media, through a series of write-ups, imageries, and video recordings on the role of the director of the Port of Qatar, Dr. Alexander Yao Eduse Jr., and the status of the Qatar port. Now, the statement explained that the project is the key agenda of the government and is also a much-desired dream of the people of Qatar for the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to intervene and ensure that this appointment is made for national strategic reasons. But Samens, I mean, the point is what you have made. I mean, this statement doesn't deal in any way with what is supposed to be best practice. As Amen said, we have a number of people who have requisite expertise in the area of how to run a port, what we need, what we do not need, how to make it happen.
In this case, it is how to actually set up one.
Exactly. So the putting the cart before the horse is what we are talking about. We already know that if you go to the Tema Port today, there are so many people with expertise who can easily be seconded to go and deliver this. People with project management expertise. Do you understand? So you can find them even within the universities. There are people graduating every single year
doing project
management. You understand? People are reading maritime whatever, and they understand so well how this thing works. The idea of putting and recently these their staff were complaining that they had not paid them for 3 months or so.
Just hold your thoughts. And Ghana is the host of the institution that trains maritime managers and technical people. The regional maritime university is actually in Ghana. Hey, what's your business?
Something doesn't add up.
So this is it. This is what we are talking about.
And this person actually wrote this.
Yeah, that's right. Wrote this. There's a statement issued by.
I'm saying that everything is it. So he or she.
It's a she.
Everything she's writing may actually be correct, but all we are saying is that that person who has to expressly conduct the mission of the president can also be seconded from an existing institution so that we don't have to pay double. That's what we are saying. Unless you are saying that all the people in the various agencies and the ministries connected to ports and harbors
are preoccupied with other important matters.
I mean, how so? How so? So if we don't remove all these redundancies and the replication of duties, replication of functions,
replication of agencies.
Yes, if we don't remove her, we are not showing people that this whole thing of let's change the economic narrative, we are serious about it. I mean, being serious is not about squeezing your face.
No. It's about action.
I was going to use it in Ghana, but that's some way. Because no fame more.
Oh man.
No, that is a way.
Yeah, you know.
Charlie, no. No, so look, they say VAT will go up.
It's in the budget.
At this point, it's not negotiable. It will go up. But while the VAT is going up, the e-levy should come down. Listen, and read my lips. If VAT goes up and the e-levy doesn't come down, there'll be problem. Major problems. So somebody must be working overtime. And even how to manage. You see, at times when I speak with MPP friends of mine, you know what I tell them? That
all the challenges we are seeing today are the seeds that were sown between 2018 and 2020.
I see.
If MPP had taken the mandate seriously, they would have butchered the 2020 elections.
Hands down.
So now you see a split parliament.
Not much can be
So
done.
to start, it even makes your work difficult.
Very difficult. That is where the problem started from. And I'm not saying that what we have in parliament now is bad. It's good for the country.
great.
Because for the first time, we are seeing scientific scrutiny of everything that goes to parliament. You get me? But for the governing party, they would have done themselves greater good if they are taking the first term of Nanado's presidency more seriously than taking it for granted, as a lot of them did.
1 million votes. Yeah, winning 1 million votes. I will see then. Yeah, but winning biom.
It just doesn't happen that way. You see, it just doesn't happen. But one thing I'm learning is that a lot can change within a year in a country like ours. But somebody would have to hold the bull by the horn.
And show leadership.
Take the hard decisions. You see, at times people think that every decision has to be popular to effect change.
Certainly not.
Not every decision has to be popular. Not every decision. I always go back to football. You know me and my, that Ten Hag's decision to throw this Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's not a popular one.
Wasn't popular. But what are the outcomes? The man is delivering. So which one is more important? Arsenal, they said, look, Aubameyang, you are bringing some disenchantment into the system. Find your way somewhere else. People castigated the man. What are we? So what I'm saying is that take the decisions, thinking about your tomorrow.
Because you have a mandate to execute anyway.
You see, what the president has got to realize is that it is your legacy that is on the line.
Not any other person's.
100 years from now, when the history books, are written, what will future generations come and read about you? 20 years from now, when the analysis is being done as to who was the very best president of the Fourth Republic of the Republic of Ghana, what would the history books be saying? What would be the experiences of Ghanaians? What legacy do you want to leave so that people will come and say that, okay, when you came in with 1 million votes, you delivered A, B, and C? Today, we're looking into the newspapers. Professor Diamonsa I read a story about him talking about the free CSHS policy, for instance. Brilliant initiative. From the very beginning, we had said that it is a good thing to do to deal with the poverty situation we have in many parts of our country. Yeah. Don't let everybody go in there without paying when we know very well that there are people who have the capacity to pay. It became a major drain on the national purse because people who otherwise should have paid for their own kids' school fees are not paying, although they could afford it. What has it created? As we see, people are complaining about the quality of food. They're complaining about the soup that they are given. The dormitories are in bad shape. Some people are complaining. You understand? So if we had targeted properly, we would not be in the financial problems we are in today. So the president has got to realize that, look, all these people he's keeping there, their names will not be remembered tomorrow. History remembers kings. I remember that line from a movie.
History remembers kings.
History remembers kings. He is the leader, and as Samens is saying, he has to show leadership. Budget will be read tomorrow. We want to see concrete plans to deal with our problems. And thereafter, he has to fire people. You can't be running a government for 6 years.
Please say that one again.
He has to fire people.
Fire people, yes. Some people are so preoccupied of becoming president that they have forgotten their immediate job of serving as ministers first and doing that with distinction. You can't be sitting as a failed minister and be thinking of being president tomorrow. John Kufuor did not allow this to happen. He said, Massa,
if you want to leave,
leave the government and go and concentrate on your
president. It happens when you lower the marking scheme, my brother. It happens when you lower the marking scheme. Papa, if somebody wants to be president, it's okay, because you see, I worry if I meet a politician who's not ambitious.
Ambitions are good.
It's good, but your ambition should give you a certain sense of, okay, if I really want to do it, let me leave this and go. If you are not doing it, president, sack them. There are plenty young people in MPPO who can do the job better. From ministries to agencies. Look, within the MPP, I'm not even talking about outside the MPP, within the MPP, finance ministry, whatever, agric ministry. If agric ministry today, I don't want to talk about it. You know, anytime I come here and talk about agric ministry and go down, I start getting headache.
Yeah, it's fine. So you come down.
Last week Friday, people were calling us here that they went to
they didn't get the
place there. They said they are going to buy food from ministry. They didn't get the thing. I said, but why are you calling us? The agric ministry didn't give you their number. I mean, Charlie, I give up.
Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Sending your thoughts and comments on 0549-986-996. Heritage Christian College. They are at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium, and they are affiliated to KNUST and G-Tech. They've got BBA programs, BSc Information Technology. They've got a Bachelor of Theology. Tutorials for professional programs, ICA, CIMG, CIHRM, ICM. They've got media and IT short courses as well. You can call them on 0574 777 731 or 0202 298399. You can visit their website hcuc.edu.gh to apply and dial star 789 star 300 hash to purchase an online serial number. There's a 50% tuition waiver for all January 2023 fresh students. Heritage Christian College offering world-class university education and training compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. Losing a loved one stops you in your tracks and leaves you shaking, and in these trying times, you can count on the Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium. They've been doing this for 21 years, and they'll give you a great service. They'll take great care of your needs and give your loved ones a dignified farewell. They've got everything. Burial or cremation, reception grounds. They'll guide you through how to select products and services to make sure that everything comes out well. You can call them on 0509 542409 or send an email info@lashibifuneralhomes.com. You can also visit lashibifuneralhomes.com for more info. Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium, dignity for the dead, comfort for the bereaved. So listening to the Citi Breakfast Show, we'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we've got more for you.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Hisense Black Friday clearance promo. Hisense Black Friday.
Hello, welcome to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loco.
I am Umaru Sanda Amadou.
My name is Freme Dunyame.
My name is Bobi Osei.
This stream goes all the way to Papaye on the Spintex Road. When the rain's setting, because of the houses that have blocked its access routes, it takes over the place, overflows, and that's where you see the flooding.
Well, if you want any evidence to show whether or not Shatta Wale is a popular artist, this right here reflects that.
And you know how the ghetto is. You always understand Shatta Wale. Yeah, that's why we always love him, because he's our motivator.
But you know, I can never panic like Titanic. All Lima panic.
Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom. This is your bedroom.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us exactly what was destroyed, what happened here?
Okay, they have just destroyed my iron, fridge, fan,
and this is what they destroyed in my room.
Within the hearts of our youth, if you don't release that anger, you can only have a revolution on your hands.
There seemed to be some heavy military presence, and on our way, we actually saw some residents leaving this community to the next village, that is Papase. This is Domfase.
Watch CNR every day at 8 p.m. for a comprehensive bulletin of the biggest news. Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. Citi TV, it's your world. Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on.
Hi, have you missed any business news this week?
Our appeal to the banks that it is not enough to show fat profits at the end of the year, publish them in the newspapers, and feel good.
Are you looking for a way to consume business news without getting lost in all of the technical language? Well, for our traders down here, all they care about is the fact that this could likely affect the cost of doing business.
We used to pay an average of 3,000 somewhere in November. Now it has shoot as much as $12,000 for a 40-footer container.
Business Weekly brings you all the top business stories of the week in an exciting manner.
Business Weekly, Sundays at 3 p.m. only on Citi TV.
Well, so, are you ready? Let's go.
Hello, welcome to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loco.
I am Umaru Sanda Amadou.
My name is Freme Dunyame.
My name is Bobi Osei.
This stream goes all the way to Papaye on the Spintex Road.
Welcome back. There's still the Citi Breakfast Show. Your comments are welcome on 0549 986 996. Let's talk insurance. Now, Impact Life Insurance is born out of a merger between Phoenix Life Assurance and GUA Life Assurance. Interesting. Now, the merger provides a wealth of expertise and over 30 years experience between both entities in the insurance space. Now, to talk more about this and what the way forward is and what it portends, I have Sheriff Abudu, CEO of Impact Life Insurance. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. Very well.
Great. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much.
This is very interesting. We'll get into the merger in a bit there, but just a few words on GUA Life and Phoenix Life Assurance. Just tell us a bit about the two entities.
All right. Thank you very much, Nathan, and once again, greetings to all your listeners. Well, Ghana Union Assurance Company, as you rightly mentioned, was born out of the life department of Ghana Union Assurance Company. Okay, so as it was previously. And at the moment, before the merger, Ghana Union was the 17th top ranked life insurance company, and was commenced in 2008, 4th March to start business.
Okay.
Ghana Union has been very good on the market, though small. If you look at the corporate business space, I think they may rank number 1 in the corporate business space in Ghana. And some of the awards they have won in the past are a special award for prudent underwriting in the just ended 2021 Ghana Re-Sedans Awards, and also the best sedans in life business in 2013. So that's for Ghana Union Assurance Life. With Phoenix Life, Phoenix was obviously also incorporated in 2007 March, and their vision was to be a successful global financial service provider in the market. If you look at the market at the moment, Phoenix Life is very strong in the informal sector of business. And you can imagine the two coming together.
Okay.
And again, before the merger, Phoenix Life was also the 10th ranked life company in Ghana.
I see.
So the two combined brings the merged partner, now Impact Life, to the number 9 ranked company, top ranked company in Ghana at the moment.
Great. So what triggered this merger? You have two companies, same space. Why did you decide to come together? And who are those behind the merger?
Well, thank you very much, Nathan. And obviously, you remember a few years back, 2020, 2021, the National Insurance Commission was trying to get more companies to recapitalize to 50 million Ghana cedis. For the merger coming into place, it started from day one. The first step was for the partners, the new investors, to wholly acquire Phoenix Life, 100% acquisition.
I see.
And that was done in December 2021. Then after the acquisition of Phoenix Life, then they saw the need. How can we bring this business up? So there was a discussion between Phoenix Life, as by the newly imposed shareholders, and Ghana Union Assurance Life for a merger to take place. So in February this year, the National Insurance Commission granted and authorized, give us the way, green light to go and merge, just to make us bigger on the market.
I see.
And as I mentioned earlier, you could see that Phoenix Life is very strong in the informal sector, and Ghana Union is also very strong in the corporate sector. So the two coming together in the non-served markets, and we are going to drive the business forward, bringing in a lot of strength in the retail agency space.
Okay, great. Let's talk about this current climate we are in, the economic challenges. Somebody will ask, look, is insurance necessary? I don't have money to do this. Why should I think about insurance?
Well, thank you very much, Nathan. That's a very, very good question. I think insurance is generally a fantastic area that people should really pay attention to. It's very beneficial. We are used to car insurance because you buy a car, you have to do the insurance. If not, the police will stop you on the road. But I think life insurance is very important. It's probably the most significantly important bit in the financial space.
I see.
But they're highly ignored because people don't really think about it till something happens. So in general, personal accidents are covered in life insurance, income replacements, yes, children's education, funeral support, and of course, paying off mortgages. One of the areas that we've seen that we have issues is the fact of capitalization, as I mentioned. And in answer to the earlier question you asked, the partners, the new shareholders of the merged entity is Uhuru Investment Partners. They are a leading West African private equity firm with a focus on high growth middle market businesses across the region. And Uhuru has over $113 million committed capital to lead in development in the middle markets, in Africa especially. Uhuru is owned, has shareholders including CDC Group PLC in the UK, European Investment Bank, FinFund, of course, Obvian and DEG from Germany. So Uhuru is a big fund. And back to your question, why insurance? Most people don't have the belief that, so why should I do insurance? Because, well, at times claims cannot be paid. And I'm sure that's why the NIC pushed entities to recapitalize so that we can take on big tickets and be able to pay our claims.
I see.
Fantastic.
I see. Let's talk about now the merger is done.
Yes.
What is the way forward? What should people expect? I'm even curious to know. So, for example, if I were a client of either, now that this new merger has happened, what happens to me? I mean, things like that. So the merger has happened. What is the way forward? What does the future hold? And maybe you can clarify a few things on what it means for current customers and potential customers.
Thank you very much, Nathan. At the moment, before the merger was officially launched, that was last week at Labadi Beach Hotel, the two entities came together, as I mentioned, from February, and started putting things together. So we sent information to all the customers, both informal and formal customers, that this was happening. So as we speak, we have merged both customers on either side into on one platform and realigning their policies. We've communicated to them. We are doing a lot of road shows to let them know that your previous Ghana Union or your previous Phoenix Life is now Impact Life. So even before the merger was launched officially, the customers were aware. And we are telling them that they should come on board. We are going to go on a long journey together and make them very, very big-time beneficial owners of life insurance policies.
Now, what about the activities that you will be undertaking, or what really becomes the plan going forward in terms of what you are doing in the future?
Fantastic. At the moment, of course, with every merger comes a few challenges. For example, you see a company like Phoenix Life is in Sunyani. Ghana Union Life is also in Sunyani. Phoenix Life is in Kumasi. Ghana Union is also in Kumasi. So one, we are merging all the branches, which we've done most of them already. We look at the two companies. The brand that fits the entity, we choose it, we close the other one. So we are doing a lot of rebranding works across nation. We are creating a lot of new products on the market, massive expansion of our distribution channels, and also people should look forward and watch out for a lot of CSR programs and ESG activities coming on in the future for us.
All right. Let's wrap it up. Let's talk about how prepared you are, because now there's a new life. Two companies have come together, bigger tasks, bigger projects. How prepared are you in making Impact Life Insurance a very dominant one in the space in which you operate?
Very, very well. Because we all know that life insurance is very, very complex. I mean, it's a complex business to operate. The shareholders and the management team has assembled a very solid staff bunch at the moment, both at the head office and at the branches. We have very experienced executive members, right from the CEO sitting here myself, through the CFO, the Chief Distribution Officer, HR. In fact, we've realigned the whole entity. We've brought in a lot of experience to drive the business and the project forward. Because we know it's not an easy project to drive. And of course, just to let people know, this is the first time in the history of the insurance space that two life companies have come together. And for me, that's history enough for people to know that we are in for business and we are to satisfy their needs.
Great. So how can people get in touch? Somebody is listening, they are interested. Maybe you have an already existing customer who may not have heard. Somehow the information went past them that a few changes have taken place. How can people get in touch? And as you answer that, maybe you can give us an idea of your nationwide reach, as we just tie things up.
All right. Thank you very much. At the moment, Phoenix Life, we are already there. Ghana Union was already there. So the head office of Phoenix Life, I mean the previous entity, is still the head office. So the customers are already aware. We are located at C1034/3 Tafawa Balewa Street, Northridge, Accra, just near the National Health Insurance Authority. And we have other branches also in Kumasi. Kumasi alone, we are in Kumasi at 3 spaces. We are at Swami, we are at Edum, and of course we are at Asokwa. We are in Takrady, we are in Sunyani, Techiman, Tamale. We are also in Swedru, we are in Tema, Hohoi, and of course we are in Sugakope as well. And I just want to let customers know that our values of professionalism, innovation, integrity, tenacity, and of course a fun-loving entity will still prevail and even become better for them.
Great.
Yes,
just quickly, how can people get in touch? You can leave a number or something. How can they get in touch with you?
Yes, for clients who want to get in touch with us at the moment, they can call Impact Life on 0243 690 442 0243 690 443, and that will just bring you straight to the head office, and we can contact you, link you to any other branch that you want to talk to.
Great, thank you so much. I've been talking to Sheriff Abudi, CEO of Impact Life Insurance. That's the product of a merger between GUA Life and Phoenix Life Assurance. So he says things may have changed, yes, but if you're an existing customer, don't worry, everything is still the same, and they're promising better service. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Your comments are welcome on 0549 986 996. RT Homes is a real estate company with various properties located at Oyarifa, Aimensa, Oyibi, and any other preferred location. We have 2 to 3 bedroom houses at Oyibi behind Valley View University for sale in a gated community. Locate RT Homes at Oyarifa, Ghana flag, and call them on 0244 692857 or 0246 102514. You can visit rthomeplanners.construction@yahoo.com. And Askia Immigration Consulting Services is committed to being your source of information, your personal advisor and authorized representative in all your immigration matters for Canada. Our consolidated and personal information approach provides the support you need to make the right decision for you and your family. So whatever your needs are, or you want to know more about Canada immigration, contact Askia Immigration Consulting Services. Call them on 0506 012289 or 0241 318890 or 0595 449054 or email welcome@askiaimmigration.com. You can get them on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Askia Immigration, on Twitter at Askia Immigrate. Askia Immigration Consulting Services, the joy of greatness for your journey to Canada. (9:36). Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Let's talk about something very interesting that GEPA is doing, and it's happening tomorrow actually. So GEPA is the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. They've put together a wonderful event called the GEPA Women Icons Regional Exhibition. And to talk more about that, I've been joined by Agnes Giftier JSAM, Director, Marketing and Promotions. And I also have Ruth Mafu. Ruth Mafu is Director of Public Relations at GEPA. Ladies, good morning. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Great. It's nice to have you here. Let's start from the top. Let's talk about the Women Icons Regional Exhibition. Let's talk about that. And let's share info. Just great info for those who may not know what exactly it's all about. And tell us the special reason that you're holding this event.
Thank you very much once again. We bring you very warm greetings from our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Efua Sabia Sari, and everyone at the Ghana Exports Promotion Authority, and importantly, all the women involved in exports and doing something great for our mother Ghana.
Right.
Yes. And so this wonderful program, that is the initiative of our CEO, has come about because we see that women are doing very great and wonderful things in terms of trade, entrepreneurship, and what have you. And so this program is to, first of all, bring to the fore the good things women are doing, particularly in the area of businesses and exports. And also to recognize people who have done great things, both living and post, the great things you have done in the field of entrepreneurship and social development, and how women can learn from this. And then, as our name suggests, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, our focus is on exports. So what are these women doing in the export sector that can greatly impact positively on our economy? And so this program is really to give a lot of, focus, or put a lot of focus on what we are doing as women and how that can help our economy to move forward.
Great. It's interesting hearing this. I just want to find out what Gepa's thoughts are, or not necessarily Gepa's thoughts, but the concept of import substitution. You know, we your name suggests that you do a lot of exports. You know, we have a lot of conversation about import substitution. So how does that concept relate to what you do at Gepa?
Is it still me? Okay.
I mean, anybody can answer.
So this morning you were talking a lot about what the Bank of Ghana is saying.
Yes,
about
exactly.
So first of all, before and I mean all the policies are good. However, before you do, some of these things need strategic intention. So before you even decide that you want to no longer buy something from outside, it's because you've seen something that you've done in here and you are excited about it, and then you have an interest in it, and then you decide to want to purchase it. So this bag, for instance, is made in Ghana.
Oh, I see. Lovely bag.
Yes. So I've decided that and hers as well.
Great.
So
I love that.
first of all, once we create these exhibitions like this, it gives the women the exposure they need, and then you come in there, you come and find the exciting things that you actually see the things that people are doing, and then you say, oh wow, so I can actually get this done here, and it's premium quality as well. Then you decide that I no longer want that coming from outside. I'd rather buy what is made locally here. Okay, so then you're no longer importing things, but rather you're substituting whatever it is that you would have gotten with what you find here. So that's why exhibitions and events like this are important, so that it creates that awareness, creates that exposure, and then the
still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll take a very, very quick break. When we come back, we have a lot more for you, and then we'll wrap it up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Orca Mega Sales is here. Discount of all home furniture from the 21st to 24th of November 2022. Visit the Orca Deco showroom off Spintex Road. When you think Black Friday, think Orca.
Fine, anyone can become the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, anyone. Whether market woman, student, professional, even fisherman or cobbler. YouGoFlip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand the chance of winning a house, cash, or other prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win.
Contact us on 0555222490.
YouGoFlip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Hi, have you missed any business news this week?
Our appeal to the banks that it is not enough to show fat profits at the end of the year, publish them in the newspapers, and feel good.
Are you looking for a way to consume business news without getting lost in all of the technical language? Well, for our traders down here, all they care about is the fact that this could likely affect the cost of doing business.
We used to pay an average of 3,000 somewhere in November. Now it has shoot as much as $12,000 for a 40-footer container.
Business Weekly brings you all the top business stories of the week.
Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
It's that time of the night again. It's just me, my thoughts, and my pillow again. Loneliness, such a day way one day would drive me insane. Me who say me amudi muda, now my heart is in pain. No amount of champagne go fi cover this pain. Me taking whiskey 12 shots, making wishes to my thoughts, crying and thinking and wishing I go forget the stain. I mean, forget his name, kissing on my finger, wishing I am wearing his ring. If you know be diamond with some character, my character go fi accept anything, even if it be copper self. I need a man, make a show him I be proper chef. Even if it be copper self, I need a man, make a show him I be proper chef. Text.
Keeper of the gates of wisdom.
9:52. Welcome back. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show.
Keeper of the gates of wisdom. Please let me in.
Let's talk some education. In the last few weeks, or every now and again, you know, have several schools show up. They are doing this, that, speech day, that kind of thing. Today, I've been joined by 3 of our friends from Presec. From Presec, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School.
These people, they worry. What are they even doing here in the first place?
They are serving a living God.
I have Dr. Eugene Tete. Tete, medical doctor. He's at Kolebu. He's chairman of the planning committee of the 84th Speech and Prize Giving Day. And I've got Bernard Akwe Jackson, doctor, for those who didn't know. He's an artist and lecturer at KNUST. And I have Rashid Badidbe. Rashid Badidbe is organizing secretary of the 97-year group. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
Great. So the 84th Speech and Prize Giving Day is happening. When exactly is it happening? I think we can build up conversation from there.
It's happening this Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah,
You've not announced JB. JB is
yes. And JB Anote is here taking pictures.
Yeah, he's also
providing spiritual support. 97-year group. So it's happening this Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday.
This Saturday. Wow. How has it been like? How's it been like putting this together? This is what, the 97-year group. You guys are organizing it.
Yes.
How's it been like just putting everything together?
It's huge. It's huge. And you know, we've redefined our responsibilities when you are how do you metamorphose into a full-blown Odadie? You know, when you finish school, you become a working person. You become now blown into Odadie. Then there's that part of the responsibility to give back to society, give back to Presec. So as the years gone by, it's now a responsibility of the older year groups to finance and sponsor our speech days. So it has been happening. So we have left Presec like 25 years now. So it's now our time to do that and give back. So we are organizing the 84th year anniversary and speech day. Next year is our 85th anniversary actually. So this speech day, we are organizing it. So a team was put together to do that. And that's where we came in. And Eugene is our planning committee chairman.
Great.
You asked how it's been. It's been interesting and revealing. You know, we call ourselves boys. You know, so in school we knew ourselves. Wearing the white shirts, khaki trousers, in the same class, eating from the same dining hall. But over the years, people have changed, and it's very interesting seeing what people have grown into. We are in different fields, different things, and now putting people bringing them back together to organize a speech day and do more. It's very interesting, and you realize that the boys you knew when you were in school are no more.
They are men now. They've changed. Great. So the speech day is like the biggest thing.
Yes.
But so what have you done? Have you done any other things as you build up to the speech day?
Yes. So we've had from the even very beginning, we've been rallying ourselves. We've had a walk, health walk, together with our academic spouses, every girls, and then we had a launch. Real spouse.
They are sister schools. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and then we also did a launch, and then last Friday we had mentorship and career day, which was very good, well attended by us, the 97-year group, and then also the school students.
Yeah. Great. That's wonderful. So on Saturday, just an idea of how things will play out. When is it starting? Who's expected to be there? Who are the speakers?
Yeah, so Saturday is the D-Day. Everybody that has a role to play in Presec, every stakeholder will be there. So it's starting at 9 a.m. in the school's assembly hall. We'll be there in our numbers, 97-year group. Our board, the school management committee, And then we invited some dignitaries to, of course, it's a Presbyterian school, so the Presbyterian church will have a role to play. Amongst us, we have our chiefs and our clergy and our big men. They will all be there. Some of our own mates will be there too.
Our big men now, their chiefs. We might also
the bonfire.
Oh, bonfire!
Bonfire will come next year.
Next year, okay.
Actually, the 85th anniversary is a big one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's more at what? Done at the school level?
Yes,
that's more at
the old boys will lead it.
Okay.
But if I want to
all
add
old boys come
all
together.
old boys. Okay. So it's not restricted to. It's not those. For example, you guys left school 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that next year those who left 25 years at that time. It's more for the general group.
They will organize, but
organize
then it is still
when the
since
time
it's
comes.
a milestone also 85. Yeah, so it's going to be bigger.
Everybody,
And then this year also, in our time, so 97 year group under our organization, we also received the 7th trophy.
We delivered the 7th.
Okay.
We delivered the 7th.
And it's a big part of the celebration. Actually, on the Sunday, there'll be a Thanksgiving.
Operation 15.
You want to win 15?
15, then we relax.
15, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. We relax. We
then
sit
we can
back
take-
to see what the rest can do.
Yes.
Great.
So
So if there's another daddy out there who's listening and wants to get in touch, how can they get in touch? How can they be involved in this weekend's event?
So all our outlets, social media outlets. That just know our Facebook pages, every group is organized in some WhatsApp group or something. The adverts are out there, and you just have to reach out to your year group president, and then you can. But of course, you can actually walk into the school during the event. Nobody will stop you once you're that year. You can always. Everybody is invited to join us on the Saturday, and then if you are available on the Sunday. But
what's happening on the Sunday?
On the Sunday, the Thanksgiving service.
Okay.
Yes. Particularly for the 7th. Yes. For the 7th. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you can leave a number.
So my number. You can reach me on 0244 278408. You can reach me WhatsApp calls. Just
okay. Can you mention the number again?
0244 278408.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Actually, people have been calling me.
Great.
So you
The theme for
the theme for
the theme. Yes.
Okay,
As we wrap it up, the theme.
Transformational leadership.
Yes.
Purpose, discipline, and service.
Okay. Transformational
leadership. Because
purpose, discipline, and service.
no matter, it's not only about. Presec is moving towards a direction where it's not only about academics. You understand? What we become, the benefit Ghana can get from us.
Okay.
So,
Society in general.
Society in general. So
Okay.
Our anthem says that to take our places in the future of our country and church.
Great. That's wonderful.
So
That's wonderful. Wish you guys the very best. The speech day is happening this weekend. For those who just bumped in, the speech day is happening this weekend, 26th November. It's the 84th Speech and Prize Giving Day, organized by the 97-year group. And I had Dr. Eugene Tete. He's a medical doctor at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and he's chairman of the planning committee of the 84th Speech and Prize Giving Day. I had Dr. Bernard Akwe Jackson. He's an artist and lecturer at KNUST, and Rashid Badebe, the organizing secretary of the 97-year group. You are not being in there. But everyone was here taking pictures, videos, and he also part of the
During the school days, he was a tapi or something.
Alright, that's our Citi Breakfast Show for the morning. Many thanks for listening. My name is Nathan Quao. I sat in for Bernard Avla. I did this with Richard Sky and Samalata Mensa. Godfred Odum gave us help on technical show, produced by Fred Jabano and Caleb Kuda. Renato Fort Barton is here with the news at 10.